Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. You know what we are here to do.
That's how I was raised. And it's gonna stay.
Clockwise. Good morning.
Your nose, wipe your feet. Big boss like to eat. Luxury with the meat. Hit it on the kitchen.
Good morning.
No rust, no glory. Hold the iron and the green. Think I'm going golfing. Call me Saturn with the rings. Call me chef, I got the beans. Keep it flying off the shelf.
That's right.
Know I got them teams. If you wanna talk,
Please hit the subscribe. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Kill my vibe. Yeah, you break, you buy. I'm flying so high. I don't even.
Good morning.
I'm higher than the sky.
I'm higher than a sunbeam.
Authentic, that's me.
That's right.
Get the money and the tree.
That's right.
4 seasons, that's me.
That's right.
Nope, they won't leave.
Let's go, let's
Taking
go.
photos for the Grammys.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning.
Get the bag for the families. That's called
A double whammy.
New chain with the
Whip.
new whip with the stick. And they both like a kick. And she looks so thick.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Everything I say's a hook. Boom. Made you look.
That's right. Let's
Made you
go.
look. Look so good we say oh my. Everything I say's a hook. Boo. Made you look. Boo.
Let's go.
Made you look. Yeah. Big plate from me. Chop the work. Bruce Lee. Fully loaded. That's me.
That's right.
Go to whistle referee. Yeah.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Welcome to the show. You know what we're doing.
2 of these, now she sleep.
Let's go. Let's
I
go.
ain't arguing for free.
Let's go.
Big boss, call me Z. Rub me like a genie. Pop out like a genie.
All my haters wanna be me. That's
now
true.
She wanna relax and watch some HGTV. Tap in when I speak. Millions listen.
Good morning,
to me.
Southern Middle Night.
Thunder and lightning now. I got it crashing down. Keep it iced like tea.
Let's go.
Keep it play at SP.
That's P.
Big drip, big D.
Big D.
Keep it clean, big C. Changing weather
I can't battle.
Clear eyes, Razine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show started. All right, you know what we came to do.
Yeah, it's me, Zeus. Sometimes it gotta be this way. It really does,
It really
but it
does.
shouldn't.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. If you not my dog,
I'ma have to cut you off.
I'ma have to cut you off.
I'ma have to cut you off.
If you not my dog, I'ma have to cut you off. I'ma have to cut you off.
I'ma have to cut you off.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I can't play these games no more. What you looking at me for? I just want the money.
Yo, all these games that you be playing, all this content.
Good morning,
Gentlemen. Get this money every way. Gotta keep my mental clear. Yeah, you
Out of here, you had no fear. Yeah, you keep on showing tears.
I'm not with that back and forth. I'm the type to get to work. I'm the type to keep it real. I'm the type to get a deal. Let's go, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
the type to pop a tag, sick like I have SARS. Ride around in fast cars, rapping like behind bars. I do this all for my dogs. This is what it all costs when you gotta be the boss. All right, DJ, go ahead and kill the music. You know what we came to do, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and kill the music. All right, thank you, everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Today is June 19th. All right, and you know exactly why we are all here. All right, so before we get this show once again started, let's take care of some housekeeping items. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I'm honest. There's nobody on social media more honest than me. You might as well pretend like I have my hands resting on a stack of Bibles. All right, so that's the first H. The second H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I'm humble. There's nobody more humble than me. If I get it wrong, I will be the first to apologize, all right? And just because your feelings are hurt, it doesn't mean that I owe you an apology. So we can go ahead and put that to bed, all right? And the last and final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because you guessed it, I am and will always remain the most handsome. Tell him. Many of you are familiar with what we came to do, or what we do over here on this side of town, on this side of TikTok. What we do is we hold our friends on the right, especially their cult leader, right, accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds as well as their crimes. And believe you me, when it comes to dirty, disgusting, and filthy deeds, isn't it safe to say the Republican Party, aka the MAGA Republicans, they seem to have hit the jackpot when it comes to being some of the most corrupt, evil, vindictive, retribution-oriented, misogynist traitors, right? I mean, these are some of the worst folks we've ever had to deal with in our lifetime. And so what we do on this show is we give them booze and shame, and I'll help you figure out when to do it, right? We give them those booze and those shame so that we can make sure they know that they are wrong. See, you got these fake TikTok hosts out here. Believe it or not, they go by, they call themselves legal experts. Some of them used to call themselves attorneys. But after we got done with them, they don't call themselves attorneys anymore. They call themselves legal gurus, all right? These are some of the worst liars you will ever run into. They continuously defend Donald J. Trump and his felonious activities, his unethical behavior, and try to spin it in a way where then they'll turn around and the very things that they should be saying Donald Trump does, they turn around and try to make it look like it's the folks on the left that are doing this, right? And this is why we do what we do over here, ladies and gentlemen. So I like to get every show started by saying this to you Trump supporters, all right? If you don't want me to ruin your breakfast this morning, right? You don't want me to ruin your buzz. You might want to leave this live and go on about your miserable day, all right? And go hang out with those fake TikTok hosts because they'll lie to you. We won't lie to you. It's going to get very, very uncomfortable over here, all right? But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All righty then. All right. Now, if you're still here, you're here at your own risk. Okay. And just another heads up for MAGA. I'm not one of these people that likes to coddle you. It's not my responsibility to educate you or to tell you anything at this point. You're an adult. You should know what I know. And if you don't know, then you should just, be very, very quiet and try to learn something. All right. Because this might actually help you become a better and more informed person. So as I said earlier, today is Juneteenth. All right. And for those of you who skipped out on this information, it came across your notifications this morning and you said, oh, I don't care about Juneteenth, right? I just want to make sure we're all on the same page, all right? Juneteenth, also known as Freedom Day, Jubilee Day, Emancipation Day, or the Second Independence Day, it celebrates African-American freedom in the United States, all right? And today marks the 4th year that it has been celebrated as a federal holiday. All right, isn't that amazing, ladies and gentlemen? Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation freed enslaved people in the United States as of January 1st, 1863, but it was left up to the slave owners to tell their enslaved people about their new freedom. And many of them simply ignored it at the time, and it couldn't be enforced in secessionist states under Confederate control. All right. In other words, this MAGA demon that we're dealing with in this country, this is nothing new, right? The MAGA demon has a spirit of racism and bigotry and misogyny. It's not just like it appeared here under Donald Trump. It's always been simmering. All right. And we're confronting it and we're calling it out. It took nearly 2.5 years with many people still enslaved to be assured that they were given their freedom, especially in states like Florida, right? And so now we're going to segue over to the state of Florida real quick, all right? And go talk about our so-called patriot, all right? But I really call them traitors, right? Ron DeSantis, all right? Juneteenth goes unobserved by Florida state government. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, please get those booze and shame ready, all right? Because this is serious stuff. So today, like I said, is June 19th, which commemorates the end of slavery in the defeated South. The date reflects the timing of the announcement by Union General Gordon Granger in Galveston, Texas, the day after he arrived to occupy the city. A similar announcement had already happened in Florida's capital city on May 20th, 1865. The different timing reflected the uncertainties surrounding the end of the Civil War and the difficulties of communication as rebel states fell under federal control. Per an accountant's website of the State Archives and Library of Florida, in Florida, the process began in May of 1865. Union General Edward M. McCook arrived in Tallahassee to receive the surrender of Florida's Confederate troops on May 10th. On May 20th, McCook formally announced President Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation from the steps of Knott's House, effectively ending slavery in the state. As a result, many Floridians celebrate May 20th as Emancipation Day. That's pretty interesting, right? President Joe Biden, he signed legislation in 2021 recognizing Juneteenth, National Independence Day, as a federal holiday. But get this. Florida does not recognize Juneteenth as a holiday for state workers, not even as an unpaid commemoration, although it does mark Robert E. Lee's birthday on January 19th, Confederate Memorial Day on April 26th, and Jefferson Davis's birthday on June 3rd. I'm going to stop for a quick second and say, I was in a live yesterday, April's live, and a MAGA demon got in the box and was trying to say, I don't think there are still states out there that want to install slavery all over again. Well, this just proves you're wrong. It's for some strange reason, these MAGA-possessed states, they love to celebrate those old racist slave masters. I mean, this is stuff you can't make up, folks, all right? Abraham Lincoln's birthday on February 12th is not a paid holiday, but Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday on January 15th is. Governor Ron DeSantis issued a proclamation in 2020 recognizing Juneteenth, but he hasn't done that since then. You see, ladies and gentlemen, when they say the quiet part out loud, trust me, I hear it very loudly and I hear it very clearly, right? And this is why I say what I say. When I say that folks are possessed with the MAGA demon, and I explain that, yes, you're racist. I explain, yes, you're a traitor. All right. These are the reasons why. So guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, since Ron DeSantis, he does not want to celebrate Juneteenth in the state of Florida, and he wants to force people, in my opinion, to be slaves still, because this is how he gets off, right? Join me in giving Ron the Con DeSantis, who wants to still uphold the Confederate ideologies in the state of Florida, despite the fact that we're on a different type of time. We're trying to make this something we don't have to deal with. But no, Ron DeSantis wants to hold on to it to assert his dominance on a certain group of people. All right? And this is why I say you Trump supporters are racist, whether you want to agree with it or not. Join me in giving him what he deserves around, actually, our first round of, you guessed it, booze and shame. What a sick individual.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
For all you so-called intelligent Trump supporters, please go look up this information. Don't just take my word for it, all right? Because, you know, I want people to ask me, well, why do you keep allowing MAGA to come into your live and in your spaces, Zeus? And I said, because I don't want them to have any excuse when they get to those pearly gates and they try to sneak into heaven. I want the good Lord to say, oh, didn't you listen to what Zeus said? Take your special behind straight to hell with all of those other MAGA demons that came before you. Right, Southern Delight, right? We're not giving any of you Trump supporters any wiggle room. All right, let's move it along. Al Sharpton today, or this morning, he had to blast Donald Trump's black voter outreach. All right, and torches the whiteness of Donald J. Trump's business. A lot of people still believe that Donald Trump has done some. Does anyone know what Donald Trump has done to help the black community? Especially you blacks for Donald Trump. Can you come in the box and explain to Zeus? Any blacks for Trump out there? Any blacks for Donald Trump out there? I would love for you to be able to come in the box and explain what exactly Donald J. Trump has done for you. All right, seriously, and don't tell me the golden shoes, and don't tell me, the fact that he got indicted makes him one of you, because I already, actually, a few days ago, I said, if it really does come down to it, right, for you blacks for Trump, if it really does boil down to who do you relate to more, isn't it safe to say that you probably relate more to Hunter Biden than Donald Trump? I mean, look at that, right? Hunter Biden has problems that I'm pretty sure a lot of you so-called blacks for Trump have, right? I mean, I'm being honest. Let's listen to what Al Sharpton had to say, ladies and gentlemen, all right, as he continues to cook. Al Sharpton has a good way of cooking Donald Trump and his supporters, all right, because he has wisdom. He has the experience of dealing with these people to make sure he can call them out on their BS right on the spot. So listen up, all you blacks for Donald Trump, please listen to what Al Sharpton says, all right? I'm really trying to help you all make better choices.
He always talks about how we really didn't start moving towards Jefferson's promise, America's promise, until 1964, 1965. We just talked about it when we were discussing Willie Mays, the Voting Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act, where all men, we get to a point where all men were created equal. And of course, Martin Luther King used Jefferson's words on the March on Washington, just like Frederick Douglass and so many others. So it took from 1789, when Jefferson was a slaveholder, and George Washington and so many others, but 1789, when we started in earnest as a country, all the way through 1965, before black Americans, under the law, were afforded civil rights and voting rights that gave them a shot. So just following up on what Eddie said, that was a long time coming.
That's right.
And that's not going to be erased. The disparities aren't going to be erased in a generation. So we have to remain vigilant.
Exactly.
No, it's critical what you said, by law. You must remember that after they stopped Reconstruction and went into this era that ended up with Plessy versus Ferguson, 1896, there was no legal change till 1954 with Brown versus the Board of Education. You're talking about a span of almost a century. We're the only race that by law couldn't do certain things. We had biases against others that came to the country.
Bingo.
But we were named by law not to have equal rights. And we're talking about my parents, my grandparents. So you're right. You can't erase that in a generation, because by law we couldn't do certain things. And the absurdity of Donald Trump acting like he did something. As you know, Joe, I knew Donald Trump for 35 years, fought with him, went to meet with him, tried to get him to do things. I've never seen a black employee in Donald Trump's office. Now,
did you hear that? He said he's never seen a black employee in Donald Trump's office. You ever look at those photos when Donald Trump takes those photos at the White House? How many of those folks you really think are hanging out with Donald Trump on the weekend? Think about it.
One, I used to say going up Trump Towers is like going up the Rocky Mountains. The higher you got, the wider it got. You didn't see one black employee at his trial. So he did what for blacks? He didn't do it as a private citizen, and as Steve Ratner's child show, he didn't do it as the president.
Bingo, bingo, bingo. Another good explanation about how Donald Trump doesn't really care about black folks. So when you see these people going around saying blacks for Donald Trump, it's one of two things. Either they're terribly informed, right? I think most of the time they're terribly informed, or they somehow got that $50 from that Craigslist ad that he probably posted, and they just simply went there to get the $50, and they didn't care about what Donald Trump was saying. But look at this. Either way it goes, you're out of order. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Donald J. Trump, all right, and his nasty way of treating black folks, especially in his businesses, right? Plus, the blacks for Donald Trump, what they deserve. It's Juneteenth, right? So we got to make sure they know where they stand. Join me in giving them a round of, you guessed it, booze and shame.
Silence! You never demon!
Listen, somebody has to take out the trash. I get it, all right? And that's what we do over here. We take the trash out, and MAGA is the trash in this situation, all right? Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. So it turns out Donald Trump was up late at night last night, all right, lashing out, okay? And he's lashing out because, once again, we've caught him not being all the way there mentally. You know how they like to try to talk about President Biden, Dementia Joe, but all the evidence, I don't know if you've all been following this, all the evidence that's been coming out lately about Donald Trump, it's actually turning out he's the one that's having problems with his memory, right? He can't focus, he can't pay attention, and the word is out. A lot of people, especially these CEOs, they're going, well, if we want somebody that we don't think is actually all the way there, we could stick with Joe Biden. But this guy, Donald Trump, he's worse. He's worse than Joe Biden. And by the way, Joe Biden's memory is as sharp as a tack. But Donald Trump's memory, it's not so good, right? And so we all remember this came out last week. If you don't remember it, I'm going to remind you what it said. This is former President Donald Trump. He lashed out because of this report where they were saying the CEOs were walking out of the meeting scratching their head. Hold on, I can't do any battles with you. And saying things like talking to Trump was like talking to your drunk uncle at a family reunion. Listen up.
I spoke to a number of CEOs who I would say walked into the meeting being Trump supporter-ish or thinking that they might be leaning that direction, who said that he was remarkably meandering, could not keep a straight thought, was all over the map, and that they, which may be not surprising, but was interesting to me because these were people who I think might have been actually predisposed to him and actually walked out of the room less predisposed to him, actually predisposed to thinking this is not necessarily, as one person said, this may not be any different or better than a Biden thought if you're thinking that way.
Right, so Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, and MAGA, listen up. I'm going to help you understand why Donald Trump can't focus. The man is under a lot of...
Joining us now to discuss,
Donald Trump is under a lot of serious pressure, right? Think about this. This man has been exposed at every level, especially after that hush money situation in New York. You know, the election interference case that we found out that he engaged in during 2016, right? He falsified business records to get a competitive edge on Hillary Clinton. MAGA, you remember this. Remember this? This is why Donald Trump is crumbling right before your very eyes. He can't even remember where he's at, I've heard. He's sitting in the room, and all he could think about is Judge Juan Merchan, July 11th, might send me to jail. Yeah. All he's thinking about is Fonnie Willis. She's going to do everything she can to send me to prison the rest of my life. Alvin Bragg, you know, everything he's done in the past is now coming back to haunt him, MAGA, right? And so he's going into these meetings where he should be talking about things to help the American people, and his mind is wandering. So last night, he goes onto his social media platform, you know, Lie Central, all right? And he tries to spin what we just heard. He says BS, bunch of BS. And he quotes someone that's anonymous, and we can't find out where he got this quote, but he just posted it on True Social. And listen to what this person says. Attendee at Trump CEO meeting refutes the reports. The attendee who spoke with the Daily Signal said Sorkin's interpretation is wrong. The Daily Signal granted the attendee an anonymity to speak candidly about the private meeting. Quote, there was never a moment of meandering, the attendee said. He was focused. In fact, he received a loud ovation at the end. The attendee added, quote, "There was not one CEO who wasn't impressed with what they heard from Trump. Everybody was clapping." Does anyone believe that? Does anyone believe this anonymous individual that Donald Trump somehow quoted and posted on his Truth Social platform? Or do you likely believe that we have evidence that Donald Trump's mind is being, he's losing his mind each and every single day? I think the choice is clear, right? Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump did not include a link or the source for this refutation. All right. All he did was say this was an anonymous attendee. And I think Donald Trump knows it. The only people that believe him, not even he himself believes what he did. The only people that believe him are his supporters. So guess what we're going to do? Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Donald Trump and his supporters what they deserve. Because guess what? They know this is a lie, but they're going to keep trying to spin it and say it's not. Let's give them another round of boos and shame. All right. Now, I did want to follow it up with another situation. All right. Speaking of Donald Trump losing his mind, Caitlin Collins yesterday had an interesting fella on her show, Ramin Satuda. And he says, believe it or not, Donald Trump seemed to think that he still had presidential powers after he left office. Isn't that crazy? Is this going to be possibly his defense? Even though he knew Joe Biden was the president, he still believed that he was the president. I mean, and to a certain degree, I'll give it to him. Only because I've seen evidence of it myself. To this day, Donald Trump still requires his loyal servants, all right? He still requires them to refer to him as President Trump. So maybe there is something to this, but I want to make sure we tap into this and get a clear picture about what's really going on. So let's talk about this real quick.
Today, Apprentice in Wonderland, how Donald Trump and Mark Burnett took America through the looking glass. And can we just first start off about your sit-downs with Trump? 6 times after he left the White House, which, you know, is such a different period, thinking about what's happening in Virginia tonight and seeing his grip on the Republican Party. I mean, what was he like? What did you observe from him when you sat down with him?
So I interviewed Donald Trump more than any other journalist since he's left the White House. We started in May 2021, and that report you just talked about meandering and confusing is right. He goes from one story to the next. He struggles with the chronology of events. He seems very upset that he wasn't respected by certain celebrities in the White House, and then he'd go to a story about The Apprentice. So, as you know, Caitlin, it's very challenging.
So, Donald Trump can't focus. He goes from one subject to the next. This is on record, ladies and gentlemen. He's not talking about Joe Biden. He's talking about Donald J. Trump, all right? And he sat down and talked to him at least 6 times, all right? And Donald Trump can't focus.
Challenging to interview Donald Trump and to go toe-to-toe with him, but there was some cognitive questions about where he was and what he was thinking, and he would from time to time become confused.
Because you wrote at one point about Joan Rivers, him telling you that she voted for him in 2016, I believe, even though...
He confidently told me and declared that Joan Rivers voted for him when he ran for president, and Joan Rivers died in 2014.
Wow! So he says Joan Rivers voted for him? Even though she had passed away in 2014? Something's wrong, MAGA. Something's wrong. Please, please tell us.
Joan Rivers died in 2014, so she would not have been able to vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah, and because you talked about his memory, you wrote that, you know, on some days I have the feeling he has no idea who he's even talking to, that he actually forgot or didn't remember that the two of you had spoken at your first sit-down interview. Right,
so my first sit-down was in May. He wasn't doing a lot of interviews, and then we sat down again towards the end of the summer, and when I sat down, there was a very blank expression on his face, so I asked, do you remember when we spoke recently? And he said, no, I have no memory of that.
Wow.
And he couldn't recall. He said it was a long time ago. And then we had to start from scratch. So the interview started from square one, where he started telling me the same exact stories that I heard in our first interview. So from there, then we did more interviews so that we could cover more ground, but it was a little bit like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, and the Trump campaign it responded saying that Trump was aware who this individual was throughout the interview, but this writer, this is their words, not mine, I'm just the messenger, is a nobody and insignificant.
So Donald Trump then tries to say that, the person that actually is telling this story is a nobody, a loser. What they're saying doesn't mean anything because Donald Trump is so important that what they're saying, it wasn't important enough for him to remember. Great try, but get this. We don't believe it. We all can see it when Donald Trump talks ourselves.
Talked a lot about The Apprentice and that on this show. Bill Pruitt, the former producer on the show, who says that he heard personally Trump use the N-word when they were taping. He talked to me about whether or not they were...
So now we're getting into Donald Trump using the N-word. And I'm not talking about nuclear. We got evidence that he didn't do that. MAGA.
Tapes that still existed. And you asked Mark Burnett, the creator of The Apprentice, about this. What did he tell you?
Mark Burnett told me that tapes didn't exist. Donald Trump also very forcefully says that the tape doesn't exist. But then he performed a thought experiment where he said that if you were to say such a word, he wouldn't do it when he was mic'd.
So, first he says, I didn't say it, but if I were to have said the N-word, I would have definitely said it while I'm not mic'd up. See, that's code. That's code for Donald Trump saying, I did say it, but I made sure my mic wasn't on. See, Donald Trump always tells on himself because he always has to be the top dog in whatever situation he is. He has to be the worst of the worst, right?
It was a very strange non sequitur because I didn't actually ask whether or not he ever said the word. We were talking about the existence of the tape, and he referred to it as, quote, the race word, and then kind of speculated about, what circumstances, in which case he would use such a word. And it seemed to be for him about the fact that he wouldn't do it while he was mic'd, and then he denied saying it again.
What were your biggest takeaways from sitting down with him?
Now listen to this
right
part.
after he left the White House, when his political power was probably the lowest it's been since 2015, and how he reflected on when he was hosting The Apprentice, and the ratings were soaring in that first season, and just kind of what that looked like for him.
He was very deflated. He was conflicted. He was angry about the way in which the press had treated him. He still believed that he won the election. And he was happiest when he talked to me about hosting The Apprentice. It was the thing that brought him the most joy. We watched clips of the show together. We watched the theme song, and he really lit up. He watched his firing of Omarosa. And then he would talk about what he did at the White House, and he would become gloomy and resentful and unhappy and refer to Afghanistan and Joe Biden. But he also seemed to think that he still had some foreign policy powers. And there was one day where he told me he needed to go upstairs to deal with Afghanistan, even though he clearly didn't.
So this is very troubling. This is very troubling. He says Donald Trump would be very happy when he talked about his experience on the TV series The Apprentice. But then he would ping pong around and be talking about his experience in the White House, and he would get very, very sad. This is what I just heard him say. And this is a guy that's talked to Donald Trump several times. And then he says, it got so bad, Donald Trump gets up and says, I got to go upstairs to talk to Afghanistan. Fool. You are no longer the president. What the heck are you talking about? It's more proof, ladies and gentlemen, that Donald Trump isn't there all the way. He still thinks he's in the White House while at Mar-a-Lago and Joe Biden is the president. Let me get up and go take care of Afghanistan. I'll be back. This is some sick stuff, MAGA, and this is who you want to put in the White House? You want to sit out here and slice videos of Joe Biden doing things every human being probably does. I guarantee you, for instance, if I put a camera on every single one of you Trump supporters, I'd be able to take some footage and make it look like you're doing something crazy. All right? Y'all would rather spend your time doing that than to actually recommend professional help for your cult leader, Donald J. Trump, who is clearly unfit and losing his mind. This is why I say, you Trump supporters, you're the worst of the worst and the scum of the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these Trump supporters what they deserve once again. Another round of booze and shame. Actually, this goes to Donald J. Trump, too. We're going to give him some booze and shame because it's crystal clear Donald Trump is no longer there. He's lost his mind. And they're trying to parade him around like he's the sharpest thing, even though we all see that he's gone. Let's give him a round of boos and shame. NASCAR. NASCAR. I'm not talking about Russia and North Korea.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
NASCAR. Go get the information about Russia and North Korea and then bring that to the box once I open it, all right? You seem like you're an expert in foreign relations, all right? What I am talking about is, well, first of all, I'll say this. Thank God it's President Biden dealing with that situation than this deranged lunatic who still thinks he's fighting Afghanistan. That's what I got to say about it. I'd rather have somebody that I know is in their right mind trying to address serious issues that affect the globe than to have deranged Donald Trump sitting in there crying about how the media is mistreating him. You know, this is what I'm talking about. I get these Trump supporters. They come into my live and they say, I just can't believe everyone's attacking Donald Trump. No one is attacking this man. This man is breaking the law. All right, and you break the law in this country, there's consequences for that. And we are going to make sure you are held accountable. We can't have you running around here breaking the law all willy-nilly while regular Americans are getting locked up. You know what? I didn't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. I see there's some dissension in my comment section. All right, you must not have heard me at the top of my show.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Bingo, bingo, bingo. That's for all you Trump supporters that can't focus and stay on topic. Pumpkin Pie, thank you so much for the Zeus hands. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. I got one more topic, and then we're going to move over. We're going to meander over to the final topic of the monologue, which is January 6th. Normally, we send MAGA demons straight to hell when I cover J6, but we're going to have to send a MAGA demon straight to hell here. You know what I mean when I say that, for those of you who tune in all the time. We have another MAGA demon that's been brought to justice, ladies and gentlemen, in the strangest of ways. All right? And this one is about District Attorney Fani Willis. An Alabama man has pleaded guilty to making threats against Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis over her RICO prosecution of convicted felon and former President Donald J. Trump. This is a MAGA demon, ladies and gentlemen. Arthur Ray Hansen II, 58, accepted legal culpability for his actions before Magistrate Judge Regina D. Cannon in Atlanta on Tuesday. The defendant made a series of threatening phone calls to both Fani Willis and Fulton County Sheriff Patrick Pat Labat over a week before the 45th president was criminally indicted for the 4th time. Quote, "I'm not a lawbreaker," Hansen told the court, according to the courtroom report. I just lost it." You just lost it? No, you did not. You've been lost it. We've been telling you out here on these TikTok streets, you Trump supporters, something's wrong with you. Get help. But you don't listen to us. So the MAGA demon, you listen to that MAGA demon, and look at the MAGA demon played you. You just lost it, right? What set Hansen off specifically about the last of those several indictments was the fact that only the Peach State case was going to, and ultimately did, result in the release of Trump's booking photo or mug shot. Trump had previously been indicted twice federally and once before in New York State, but neither of those systems released booking photos to the public. Georgia law favors transparency. Quote, "If you take a mugshot of the president and you're the reason it happened, some bad SH, I gotta keep it clean, is gonna happen to you." Hansen told the sheriff, quote, "I'm warning you right now, before you F up your life and get hurt real bad." That's the MAGA demon talking, right? That's the MAGA demon occupying this body, this vessel of a Trump supporter. The defendant said he did not care that Labat was a law enforcement officer. We saw that on January 6th, right? These Trump supporters don't care about police. They attack the blue. Good morning, Miss Boss Diva. Quote, whether you're a G-dang badge or not, ain't gonna help you none. Let me say that again, because that's MAGA-nese right there. I couldn't even read it. It was so terrible. Whether you got a GD badge or whether you got a GD badge or not, ain't gonna help you none. Terribly educated. Hansen said on the voicemail for the sheriff, adding, quote, you gonna get effed up. You keep effing with my president. See, this is some sick stuff. In a voicemail left for Willis on Fulton County's customer service line, the threats were more detailed but less specific. Hansen made statements which included but were not limited to the following. Quote, watch it when you're going to the car at night. When you're going into your house, watch everywhere you're going. I would be very afraid if I were you, because you can't be around people all the time that aren't going to be able to protect you. There's going to be some moments when you're going to be vulnerable. When you charge Trump on that fourth indictment, anytime you're alone, be looking over your shoulder. When you put out there, B, what you put out there, B, comes back at you 10 times harder. Don't you ever forget that. Wow, wow, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you see what this is, right? This is a MAGA demon that's been caught and brought to justice, right? And so guess what we're going to do? You know, normally we save this for January 6th, right? Normally we save this for January 6th, but we're going to do it here. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let's give this deranged MAGA demon, who is he? What was his name again? Let me go ahead and read it. Arthur Ray Hansen II, 58. Let's give him what he deserves. A round of boos and shame first, right? Bye, Arthur.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, and because this is one of those Confederate soldiers of Donald Trump that has been brought to justice, all right, let's send him off the old-fashioned way. MAGA, do you see the problem? Do you see the problem? I know it hurts you that I get up every single morning, Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. Pacific time, and I hold the mirror up to each and every single one of you so that you can understand why I think you're the worst of the worst and the scum of the earth. See, when there is other issues, like in the past, okay, we dealt with slavery in the past. That was a brand new thing going on in America. So I give it a little bit more of I'm a little more understanding because we were still figuring it out. But you Trump supporters, I believe you have enough information about the past to make better decisions, right? And the fact that you won't leverage the information about American history to be more informed, to be better people, that's why I do not allow you to be victims around me. There's no excuse for you to have a smartphone. And we call it a smartphone because the information is at your fingertips. There's no excuse for why a person can have a smartphone and still be poorly educated. It makes absolutely no sense. And that's why I send you Trump supporters straight to the pits of hell every single morning. I sleep good at night knowing that there's one less MAGA. There's one less MAGA around here. That's how I think after each and every single show. Yeah. This same MAGA demon did exactly the same thing those MAGA demons did on January 6th. Look at this. You see how two isolated incidences tie together MAGA? What is this story of January 6th about? This is a story about Donald Trump supporters attacking law enforcement, trying to overthrow the government, trying to obstruct justice. It's the same story, different plot, different set. But no matter how you tell it, we always end up with a Trump supporter or more, right? We always end up with a Trump supporter or more doing something illegal on behalf of Donald J. Trump. Do I ever tell the truth? Do I ever tell the truth? Let me get to see. This is what I'm talking about. The Metal Master. You want to come up here? Come on up here. Because I'm about to cover January 6th. And I got some. There's more truth coming. So the Metal Master one. Come on up here and explain to me what I've lied about. What have I lied about? See? You see how I catch you Trump supporters right in the very act? Catch you right in your lies, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give the Metal Master one because he's afraid to come up. Oh, all right. Come on up here, you MAGA demon. What have I lied about?
Why am I a demon? Because
you are. Listen to me, you demon.
You're just gonna bring me up just to talk?
No. What have I lied about?
Okay, well, Trump didn't tell anybody to go and try to overthrow the government. Nobody tried to overthrow the government. The police opened up and walked those people into the House of Representatives. You don't see those videos?
Yeah, okay. So is this your first time talking to me and seeing my broadcast?
No, I unfortunately see your broadcast all the time. I flip through it.
Okay.
I don't listen to your stuff because you sound idiotic.
Well, okay, well, I might sound like that, but I'm not. But you know who sounds like that and is? You. See, so how old are you? How old are you? Sir, how old are you? Sir, how old are you?
I'm 44 years old. Man.
There's no excuse for you to be this uninformed. What part of the country are you in?
I live in Connecticut.
Okay, there's no excuse. You have a smartphone, and there's no excuse for you to still believe Donald Trump. You do understand Donald Trump lied to you.
And you
do understand he lied to you, right?
That Biden is a good president?
Yes, but I'm not talking about President Biden. Stay on Trump. You do know that he lied to you, right?
Well, what's he lying to me about?
Remember when he at the Capitol, he said, we're going to go to the Capitol and I'll be right there with you? Did you see him going? Did he get there?
Well, he held his speech and he told people to be peaceful.
No, listen, Metal. The answer to that question is no.
Okay.
So that's a lie, right?
That's not a lie. Whatever, dude.
So Donald Trump telling his soldiers, I'm going to be right there with you and never showing up. That's not a lie. See, Metal Master, I can't do it with you right now. So what I'm going to need you to do, Metal Master, is you say you skip this broadcast every time. Can you do me a favor and just listen this time? And then after I cover this, I want you to be the first one to come back up here and tell me where I got it wrong. Can you do that? Since you're so intelligent, can you do that for me?
I'm listening.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to get back down there in the audience, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to let Metal Master get down there in the audience, and let's give him a round of boos and shame. Because, see, I don't like liars around me. I don't like that. Metal Master, you're wrong.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Let me explain, Metal Master 1, where the lies took place, all right? And this time, don't scroll out, all right? Because, see, when you pass away and you get up there and you meet your maker, the good Lord, I don't want you to have any excuse for why he sends you straight to the pits of hell. So this is your last chance to get it right before you go and meet your maker. All right, Mr. Metal 1, listen up. This is how it all started, all right? Now, I hate to do this too because a lot of you know this story, but, you know, we're going to have to tell it again, Metal 1. This is for you, all right? I was going to just skip through it and move on with my morning. All right, so what happened here, ladies and gentlemen? This is unemployment rate while Donald J. Trump was president. And do you notice there's a spike? What caused the spike? I got an answer for you, Metal 1. Here it is.
And again, when you have 15 people, and the 15 within a couple of days is going to be down to close to zero, that's a pretty good job we've done.
Today, the U.S. hit a grim milestone of 1 million cases of the coronavirus. Back in late February, you predicted that the number of cases would go down to zero. How did we get from your prediction of 0 to 1 million?
Well, it will go down to zero ultimately, and you have to understand when it comes to cases, we do.
See that? You see that? He was telling you it was going to go down to 0, the number of cases, but it didn't. It skyrocketed. Americans lost their lives. The unemployment rate shot through the roof, Metal One. And so, in an act of desperation, Donald Trump panicked. And what does Donald Trump do when he's afraid and he's going to panic? He resorts to criminal activity. You saw it in 2016, and we saw it in 2020, and you're going to see it in 2024. So what did he do? He decided to devise a scheme, a corrupt, evil scheme to remain in power. All right. And what did that scheme begin with? Okay, well, great answer. Great question. It started with this, Metal One. Remember this? Remember this? Let me see. Okay. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Instead of telling you the truth that Joe Biden won the election, Donald Trump told you a big lie.
We had such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight, and then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won them by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left. We won states, and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off.
Oh.
And we have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, because you know what happened? They knew they couldn't win. So they said, let's go to court. And did I predict this, Newt? Did I say this?
So that's the lie. Did you hear he conceded to Joe Biden? No. He's now got you thinking the votes were rigged. Because after all, it's a rigged election. That's the only way that Joe Biden could win, is what he told you. But then he did a magic trick, ladies and gentlemen, and I kid you not, this is one of the most incredible magic tricks I've ever seen. He convinced his supporters that despite what they saw on the scoreboard, was wrong. What he believed was actually correct, which was he believed that he won the election, even though he knew he didn't. Listen to this.
76,000 votes with almost nothing left. And all of a sudden, everything just stopped. This is a fraud on the American public.
No, it's not.
This is an embarrassment to our country.
No, it's not.
We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
You hear that, Metal One, and all you other MAGA demons out there? You hear that? He convinced you that he won, even though the scoreboard said he lost. Name one time in your lifetime you've seen anything like that happen. And you can't. All right. See, I didn't want to get upset this morning, but you guys got me worked up. So what happened next, ladies and gentlemen? Now that he got this big lie out there and his supporters believing it and angry, and they feel like the election has been stolen. Well, he decides to engage in another scheme. All right. And you all remember this so-called perfect phone call, right?
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
That's a little fake elector scheme. Can you say scheme, MAGA? Can you say scheme? All right, because that's a very important word when we are talking about Donald Trump. Say scheme, MAGA, all right? Now, this part of the story, ladies and gentlemen, is when things start to get ratcheted up, all right? And I kid you not, all right? Donald Trump then says, you know what? I got to get a bunch of my troops to Washington, D.C. How can I get them there? Because we're going to make sure Mike Pence doesn't do anything to stop me. And he says, I got a great idea. We're going to have a rally called Stop the Steal, right? And this is what he did. Attention! All you Trump supporters out there, you are now my Confederate soldiers. I'm the modern day Jefferson Davis. I'm very angry that I lost to Joe Biden, and now that I've convinced you that I've won, I need you all to meet me in Washington, D.C. at an event that I am hosting called Stop the Steal. It's going to be a big protest. Be there, will be wild. You Trump supporters, you said, what? An opportunity to be wet and wild with my daddy? That's an offer I can't refuse. All right. So what happened next? Well, you all had to figure out how to get there, right? And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not making this up. And I hate having to tell this story. They figured out an affordable way to get to Washington, D.C., ladies and gentlemen. And you know exactly what it was, right? Take a look at this. Feast your eyes on this U-Haul. All right? For $19.99 a day, unlimited miles, you should be able to move a small apartment across town, return the truck, all right, and you're good to go. But these MAGA demons, they said, you know what? We can fit a bunch of us in this truck and pack ourselves in there like a can of sardines. All right? These are grown men, ladies and gentlemen, adults, know better. And so when the police pulled this thing over, you know who they saw in the back, right? Look at this. Who was that? The Patriot Front, the Proud Boys, the Boogaloo Boys, Oath Keepers, a.k.a. white supremacists. And I said, look at this photo, MAGA. Y'all got some explaining to do. How is it that you had a problem wearing a mask during the pandemic, right? But you have no problem putting a mask on when it's time to be criminals and break the law. You see how we catch you Trump supporters? Do y'all understand? Everyone in the country sees this, and we look at you and say, clearly you're liars. But I'd hate to think that you're completely clueless that we see you. We see you knuckleheads, right? So the police officers, they did away with these folks expeditiously, right? These folks didn't actually get to make it to the Capitol, but there were others who made it to the Capitol. And when they got to the Capitol, ladies and gentlemen, they received an update from one of their lieutenants. How many of you know who the pipe bomber was at the Capitol? You see the pipe bomber right there? Isn't it funny? They kind of look similar to Marjorie Trader Green. Isn't it similar? I mean, I don't believe in conspiracies, but those shoes, you got to look at the shoes, right? So when they get to the Capitol, they're waiting at the ellipse, right? Please, Donald Trump, give us a sign, Donald Trump. Please, Daddy, give us a sign. And they got one. They got one from Lieutenant Marjorie Trader Green. Listen up.
If we flood the Capitol building,
thank you for the subscription.
Flood all the government buildings, go inside. These are public buildings. We own them. We own these buildings. Do you understand that? We own the buildings and we pay all the people that work in the building.
Boom. That's Marjorie prepping you guys. Thank you, Ginger. That's Marjorie prepping you Trump supporters to get ready to launch an assault on the United States Capitol. So what happens next, right? Because you can't do it without Donald Trump authorization. So let's go to the White House. If you don't remember this moment, I'm going to help you. This is Donald Trump with his vice president. And what happened, ladies and gentlemen, is going to go down in American history as probably one of the most heroic acts of a vice president. Donald Trump angrily moseys on into Mike Pence's quarters and says, hey, Pence, buddy, I'm going to need you to do that thing you and I talked about. You know, not certifying those votes for Joe Biden. And Mike Pence, who I completely disagree with on a policy basis. I don't want nothing to do with Mike Pence. But Mike Pence says, well, Mr. President, unfortunately, I can't do that. Because in order for me to do that, it would require me to place you above the United States Constitution. A document that our founding fathers and the framers fought and bled for. A document that even to this day, Americans continue to fight and bleed for. And frankly, Mr. President, I believe anyone asking me to do such a thing is unfit to be president of these United States. Donald Trump, visibly flustered and angry, he leans into Mike Pence, and his breath was smelling like Big Macs and Diet Coke. And he says, you know what your problem is, Pence? You're a little too honest. And he called him the nasty P word. The same P word he said in that Access Hollywood tape, you Christians, or you so-called Christians. I'll take care of it myself. He goes to security. Security, take me to the ellipse to be with my Confederate soldiers. And they said, Mr. President, we don't think that's safe because those folks are armed to the T. They got military-grade equipment. They got metal whips They got chains, baseball bats, tactical gear. As a matter of fact, they got this new thing called demon spray. He says demon spray. What's demon spray? Oh, you take a little wasp spray, a little bear spray, a little pepper spray, bee spray. You put a little orange dye in it, turn the thing orange, and what happens is if you spray it on people, the MAGA demon will possess them, and they'll do anything you say do. He goes, really? They got that now? They say, yes, Mr. President. He goes, I don't care. They're not bringing it to harm me. Take me to be with my Confederate soldiers. Yes, sir. And we all remember this moment, all right? This guy showed up with that disgusting trench coat and those leather gloves. We all know those leather gloves. We know leather gloves are synonymous with the crime scene, right? Ask OJ, right? He gets on stage at the ellipse, and he encourages his soldiers to engage in, you guessed it, heinous acts of violence.
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here, we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
Right? So that's him encouraging his soldiers to go to the Capitol. All right? And you know what was on their minds, ladies and gentlemen, right? Some people go, you took out the part where he said peacefully and patriotically. As far as I'm concerned, I combed through so much footage, so many hours, I really don't recall him saying that, but I do recall him saying this.
And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Right?
So, let's have trial by combat.
We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
So, let's have trial by combat.
Any questions? Any questions about what was on MAGA's mind that day? Any questions before I proceed? It's kind of crystal clear that they were ready to fight. They brought weapons. Donald Trump summoned them there. It's crystal clear. But if you have any questions about what was on the minds of those Trump supporters that day, maybe this will help you. How many of you know who this woman is right here? How many of you know who this woman is? Yeah, that's Ashley Babbitt. And we got her on a hot mic, ladies and gentlemen. Let's listen to what Ashley Babbitt was saying. All right? And you tell me if it doesn't align with what Donald Trump ordered her to do.
District, why don't you worry about your own goddamn district and the shit that's going on there? You are complete. I'm telling you right now, I'm putting all you on notice. Every single one of you politicians in California, Gavin Newsom, Jerry Brown, Maxine Waters, Duncan Hunter, what the hell is Kamala? Where is Kamala? Talking about ISIS like a KKK. We got this from our camera. You know what? We have thousands of people on the other side of the world. If people can't get to work, our economy is going to take an absolute tank because you guys refuse to choose America over your stupid political party.
Capitol and a mob, there's an estimated over 3 million people here today. So despite what the media tells you, boots on ground definitely say something different. There is a sea of nothing but red, white, and blue, patriots and Trump.
A sea of nothing but red, white, and blue patriots for Trump. She's confirming what's going on at the scene of the crime, on the battlefield. This is one of Donald J. Trump's foot soldiers, MAGA. She believed his big lie. She took him up on his invitation to go there, and now she's reporting live from the battlefield. And we all remember, ladies and gentlemen, don't we? We all remember what happened to Ashley Babbitt, right? In case you don't remember, maybe this will jog your memory. Maybe this will jog your memory. All right, hold on. This is the moment right here. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Here we go. This is the moment right before she lost her life in the battlefield for Donald Trump. That's right before Ashley Babbitt lost her life. One of Donald Trump's, his foot soldiers, lost her life. A woman that Donald Trump is supposed to protect the women, right? Lost her life in the battlefield because of his big, nasty, evil lie. And what did Donald Trump do, ladies and gentlemen, when he found out that one of his foot soldiers lost her life in the battlefield? Does anyone know what Donald Trump did after he found out one of his foot soldiers lost her life in the battlefield? Does anyone know? MAGA, I'm really talking to you. Do you know what your commander-in-chief did when he found out that Ashley Babbitt lost her life in the battlefield? Exactly. You guessed it.
Information that stands out to me is that Donald Trump was passed a note after one of the rioters was shot in the Capitol, and was made clear that this person had been shot, this woman had been shot in the chest. And the valet says that he offered no reaction upon learning that. He kept sitting in the chair watching the violence unfurl on TV.
A non-reaction at the death of Ashley Babbitt.
Wow. Wow. You can call me a hired operative. That's actually a promotion. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a hired operative. Thank you, Steve Holstein. I'm a hired operative sent to shut down all you Trump supporters and your lies and your little misinformation campaign. Yeah, I'm your worst nightmare. Donald Trump didn't do a single thing after he lost one of his foot soldiers in the battlefield. How selfish. No condolences to her and her family. He's just upset because she failed to complete the mission. This is the crime scene of January 6th, ladies and gentlemen, that millions of Americans all across this country saw on national television. This was not a peaceful protest like BLM was. This was not a tourist visit that had gone awry. This was a crime scene of epic proportion, planned and organized by Donald Trump and his inner circle all the way down to his foot soldiers. It was an attempt to overthrow our democracy and reinstitute slavery. They're still mad they lost the Civil War, and this was one of their opportunities to try to install a Confederate president to take over these United States, and they failed. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on with today's update, because like I said earlier, we have another update about a MAGA demon that has been brought to justice. You know, I do this every day. I try to bring an update about a Confederate soldier that's been brought to justice. All right, let's talk about it. All right, a Westport man, all right, has pled guilty to role in January 6th. A Westport man charged in connection with January 6 riots at the U.S. Capitol will plead guilty to his involvement, according to court documents. Benjamin Cohen was arrested in August and charged with civil disorder and assaulting, resisting, impeding certain officers. Once again, they're attacking law enforcement. Yes, BLM was a peaceful movement. Yeah. All right. Yeah, and yes, you Trump supporters did try to reinstall slavery by trying to overthrow the government. Because you're Confederate soldiers. Nice try, game time. Benjamin Cohen was arrested in August, like I said. He was facing misdemeanor charges of entering and remaining in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly and disruptive conduct in restricted building or grounds, engaging in physical violence in a restricted building or grounds, and engaging in an act of physical violence on Capitol grounds or building. According to new court documents, his attorneys have asked to convert a pre-trial conference scheduled for July 11th into a change of plea hearing. He plans to plead guilty to a count of assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, justice has been served once again, and we got to do what we came to do here in the kingdom. We are about to send this MAGA-possessed demon straight back to the pits of hell, all right? First of all, join me in giving this seditionist, treasonous traitor, Benjamin Cohen, who allowed Donald Trump's big lie to lead him to the United States Capitol to engage in heinous acts of violence, all right? Join me in giving him a round of boos and shame.
Silence! You never demon!
All right, and since he wanted to be a Confederate soldier so bad for Donald Trump, let's send him off the old-fashioned way, all right?
I'd like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
You hear that, MAGA? Do you hear that? The same lunatic that invited you, remember, be there, it's going to be wild. The same lunatic that invited you, this guy, who's now a patient on Dr. Phil's show, invited you to the Capitol and then told you to go home. He didn't comp you for anything. Just told you to take your special behinds back home. Thank you, Rick. When are you Trump supporters going to realize he's playing you like a fiddle? This is some sick stuff you've gotten yourselves into. And I know you're in so deep you can't get out. Hopefully what I'm saying will help you figure out a way to get some strength to do exactly what Mike Pence did and stand up to this lunatic. You're right about one thing. The rest of the world is laughing. But you're wrong about it. They're not laughing at all Americans. They're only laughing at you Trump supporters. Because they can't understand why Donald Trump is doing what he's able to do to you. All right? And as far as I'm concerned, it's like a circus. You go, well, why is it like a circus? I go, because look at this guy, Donald Trump. He does exactly what a clown does. A clown puts on makeup every single day, right? You see him? He puts that orange makeup on. Oh, don't I look so good? A clown wears a wig. He puts on that bird's nest smack dab right there on his cranium. Look at this. I look so good in this ridiculous thing, right? A clown wears that thing around his waist with that ridiculous suit. Look at Donald Trump. He puts a diaper on every day and puts on that same crumpled blue suit with that ridiculous red tie. And then he gets onto his social media platform, Lie Central, and gets you all to do the unthinkable. It's a circus act. Think about it. He got you walking that tightrope of lies for him, jumping through those hoops of misinformation for him, buying all the little prizes he's selling. Think about it. When was the last time you needed golden shoes, MAGA? You don't need golden shoes anywhere in your adult life. You only need them in a circus, probably while you're walking that tightrope. You don't need Trump bucks. You don't need a Trump University. You don't need any of that stuff except for in his circus. He's going to go down in actually world history, Guinness Book of World Record, as the most successful ring master ever. Because the mark is simple. If you see anybody wearing one of those red hats, you know these people are poorly educated and suckers. Anyone you see wearing a red hat, poorly educated suckers, what does that mean? That means I could convince them to give me their money. I was in a live yesterday, a MAGA demon live. My good friend Jeff, right? He used to be a Trump supporter, but he's seen the light. And a MAGA demon gets in there crying and complaining about the economy. And it's, I guarantee you, 10 times out of 10, every single Trump supporter crying about the economy somewhere along the way and talking to them. Because you can't out-argue them with facts because they'll deny every fact you throw at them. Every single one of them, it boils down to they don't know how to manage their money. I had $4,000. Where did it go? Oh, the gas, this and that, the gas and the eggs and the gas and the eggs and the gas and the eggs. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I bought a new car, but blah, blah, blah. Oh, hold on. You bought a new car? Yes, I bought a new car. So that's where your money went. President Biden had nothing to do with that. Oh, you were buying Trump gear? Oh, okay. Oh, you're sending Trump money? Oh, okay. So in other words, Biden economy is doing so good, you got extra money to buy things. You see how we catch you Trump supporters in all your little lies? It's not adding up, MAGA. It's not. The only thing that's making sense right now, and if you ask the majority of American peoples, is that this. You Trump supporters are in a dangerous cult. You're just one step away from drinking all the Kool-Aid he's selling. And you know what comes next, right? After you drink all that Kool-Aid. Jail. I call it the ultimate MAGA reward. Jail. And if you don't get your soul right, hell. With a chapter 11 in between. Look at everybody that's been in his inner circles. Rudy Giuliani, John Eastman, Mark Meadows, Paul Manafort, Papadopoulos. Think about it. Everyone around, Michael Cohen too. Every single one of them gets that ultimate MAGA reward. Even Donald Trump is getting it. Because he's going to jail. And hell. Because he doesn't seem like he has a spirit to repent. So MAGA, this is your last chance to get it right. Or you're going straight to hell with him. All right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my monologue. Let's open up those boxes. Let's open up these boxes, ladies and gentlemen, and hear from those of you who are actually brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth and shame the devil. You know the rules. You get 3 minutes. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you are on. You got 3 minutes to be able to come up here and get your voice out to the American people. Because, you know, people who listen to this show, especially when I upload it to my YouTube channel, they like hearing what everyone else is saying. You know, I've already done my talking. You know where I stand, all right? And I don't let Trump supporters be victims around me, all right? So if you're a Trump supporter and you decide to get enough courage to come up here and you want to challenge anything that you've heard, the burden of proof is really on you. You have to show us evidence of whatever it is that you believe. Because failure to do so, you're going to be dismissed. All right? It's just going to be considered a bunch of rambling, unhinged talking points. And I'm not wasting any more of my brain power trying to debunk the lie. It's a lie. All right? So let's bring up our first panelist, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Oh my goodness. Look at that. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, my good friend, Nutty Professor. How are you doing, brother?
So good morning today.
How are you? I'm doing all right. Happy Juneteenth if you're into that.
Yes, sir. I am into that because it's the history of our people.
Right.
So you got to be into the history of our people. So not only do I want to say happy Juneteenth, I want to say rest in peace, Willie Mays. On this somber, it is a somber Juneteenth because of the fact that he broke so many barriers. He broke so many barriers, and he did it in a time before we had the Civil Rights Act. He did it in a time before we had laws in place that protects people against racial discrimination. So rest in peace to a legend himself. So what I just don't understand, sir.
Yes.
Is again going back to victimhood, going back to our envelopian brothers and sisters. They want to be victims so bad that they cannot get away from the cultish rhetoric of known as Donald Trump.
Right.
Because they seem to believe that all of a sudden that one day everybody just woke up and said, you know what? This is the guy. This is the guy that we're just going to persecute. This is the guy that we're gonna hang on the modern day cross. This is the guy because he's God sent.
Ever since he came down that golden escalator, that's the thing, right? Ever since he came down there, they've been attacking
It's
him.
idolatry, and it's the very people that are over there sniffing his taint are the very people that call themselves evangelicals. So I don't call you evangelical. I call you Talibanjicals because you do not subscribe to Christianity. And I'm going to keep harping on this because time and time again, Zeus,
right?
Who do we see out there trying on TV, trying to put their hands on Trump's forehead or on his back, trying to pray for him? Did you listen on Father's Day?
Yep.
On Father's Day, he was in Detroit. He was in the D.
Nah, no lies detected. Go ahead, Nutty. Tell him.
D at a supposed black church, right?
Right.
And when you scan the audience, it was cloudy in there. It was a cloudy with no mix of color at all.
Wow.
The only color that was on that stage was the color that's sitting at the table that was on the altar with him.
Paid actors. Those were actors.
But yet, this is a black church, but we're the black folks. So are you a black church in name only?
Yep.
Like my
but isn't it amazing that his supporters still believe it or pretend they believe it, right? This shows he's with the black community. Look at him.
You know what? And the conservatives out there that want to act like, listen, not 50 Cent said it himself. He said, not all money is good money.
Correct.
So he just did an interview a few weeks ago, and they asked him about Trump. They asked him about a rally that Trump wanted him to come to, and he turned it down.
Smart man.
And then he said that they asked him, did you offer to get paid? He said yes. They asked him how much. He said $500,000. And they said, you turned down $500,000? He said, not all money is good money.
Tell him, Nutty.
Now, I can understand I can understand somebody in our position that doesn't have as much money as 50 Cent, right?
I can see it. Okay, yeah, you're right. I can see it.
Because you know what? If Trump called me up right now, yo, hey, Dark Nutty, I know you can't stand me, but I'll give you $500,000 if you show up. You know what I would say to him, Zeus?
What would you say? You'd say, sir, that goes against everything I believe in, and unfortunately, I'm a man of high moral standards. No.
I would love to believe that I would say that, but I wouldn't say that. I would say, yo, Donnie boy, give me the money first. I would say, give me the money. Give me the money first.
Honest. At least you're honest.
Hey, it's 500. Zeus, brother, you know you'd be right there too. You'd be right there too. But see, I would try to pull a Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I would take the money and then not show.
Tell him.
I would take the money and then not show.
Okay.
And then he's like, well, why didn't you show? And then I would just tell him I pulled a Donnie.
Oh, okay. So you're saying you would try to still be as true as you can to who you are, but at the same time you would try to get that bag. I can't hate on that.
Listen, I'm gonna get that bag.
Yeah, I can't hate on it. If you somehow manage to finesse him out of 500 bands like that, you know what? It is what it is. We can clean it up after that. I'm pretty sure you could.
Because Zeus, at the end of the day, even if I showed up, which I wouldn't, even if I showed up, I'm still not going to vote for you.
Correct.
That money that you paid me is not going to turn into a vote. It's not going to equate into a vote. And even if I did show up because of legal ramifications, let's just say that. Even if I did show up, once I had that bag in my checking account, I'm going to get back out there and be like, yo, I only did this for the money. I need y'all to vote against this dude.
Got it. Makes sense to me.
I heard my bell, man. Happy Juneteenth, man. Y'all stay safe out there. And let's celebrate the history of the United States. It was a bad day when slavery happened, but for you all that don't know, Juneteenth is merely when the slaves over in Galveston, Texas, found out that they were free.
Amen.
That's why Juneteenth is celebrated. And for any of you out there who can't get behind that, go kick rocks with your shoes off, but with the force of a Mack truck.
Oh! All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Dark Nutty Professor. You see, ladies and gentlemen, this show is all about getting the truth out there to the American people. There's voters all across the country. They don't get to keep up with politics like a lot of us do out here on TikTok, so it's very important they hear these organic conversations happening so that people can go and make the most informed decision they can. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. All right, all lefts. Welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing all right. How are you?
Hey, I'm all right. How are you holding up out there? I've seen you in a couple of these right-leaning lives putting up a good fight.
Yeah, I have, man. And, you know, I'm doing okay. And I'm glad that I got to talk to you this morning because I just want to say again, I can't appreciate or how much I appreciate what you're doing, even more specific to the J6 stuff, because I've been in several of those lives. I've been kicked out of all of them, and I've been kicked out of all of them when I'm talking about specifically J6. And so
isn't that something?
It really is. And that's why we on the left right now, I really feel like messaging is so important. So but when you come out and you bring the facts every single day, I can't express how important that is. And so
Right.
when
Thank
I'm in
you.
those, absolutely, in those right-wing lives, the sentiment that I'm getting from them lately is we need to come together, right? And they're tired of defending Donald Trump and they want us to come together. And my response to that is no.
Thank you.
I think we soundly reject that. And the reason for that is when we're talking about J6, we're talking about a man who tried to invalidate the voice of 81 million of us, all of us.
Yeah.
And we're not going to get past that until a majority of these people can condemn what he did and stand up and soundly condemn him trying to steal our voice. We will not get past that, and we're not going to let them get away with that. And I think that's extremely important.
You know what? You know why I stick to J6 the way that I do? Number one, there's always someone being brought to justice, right?
Absolutely.
But I said, you know, what's worse than being a racist, right? And for a minute, being a racist was kind of like that's the lowest a person could be.
Sure.
But J6 took it up a level because now you can be a traitor. And I said, when you're a racist traitor, that right there is un-American at its highest level. I don't know what's more un-American than that, right?
There is nothing more un-American than that. What is core to our democracy is we each have a voice, right?
Amen.
Every party brings their ideas to the table, and we express that voice, and we vote. Somebody wins, somebody goes home. We have the peaceful transition of power. They threw all of that out the window. And frankly, Trump's got a history of doing stuff like that his whole life, right?
Absolutely.
Not playing the fair way, but abusing the courts or doing whatever he can to get what he wants. And so you're absolutely right. There is nothing worse than that. And just real quickly, I wanted to touch on the big lie because you do such a great job of explaining that and illustrating that.
Thank you. But you actually got a lot more. So yes, please add to it if you can.
If I can, very quickly. We know that Donald Trump never believed that he won the election. And not only did he not believe that, but he never cared about what the actual outcome was, because these right-wingers are so dumb and so arrogant that they had a history of telling on themselves. Steve Bannon on his podcast before the election told us he's going to go out there and declare victory. It doesn't mean he won. We're just going to say that he won. He told us this. Peter Navarro went on MSNBC and told Ari Melber in detail the elector scheme. And because of that, he got a subpoena from the January 6th committee, which he went to prison for because he refused to testify. Roger Stone, in the documentary that he did, told us the same thing. We know it's going to be close because of the delay with the mail-in ballots. We know it's going to look close. He's just going to go out there and say that he won. F you. Possession is 9/10 of the law. They told us what they were going to do ahead of the time. So when these people say that Trump believed that he won, or he really believed that there was fraud, not only do we know that's true, but he never cared in the first place. It is the biggest lie ever perpetrated on the American people.
I 110%, 1,000% actually agree. Right?
So,
wouldn't you say this is probably what makes Donald Trump the most dangerous person in the United States right now?
It's not even close. I mean, he did. I'll just use the analogy. You remember the movie Jurassic Park, right?
Yes, yes.
And when the guy's talking about the raptors and they find out that the raptors, so they thought they were going to get out, and he says they're testing the fences for weaknesses, right? That's exactly what he did. He tried to break every single aspect of our democracy that he could. There is no more dangerous person on the planet, or at least in the country, than Donald Trump. Absolutely, no question about it.
I completely agree. Man, oh man, that felt good to hear, and I'm so glad you have a good way of illustrating your points and making it clear for the average person to understand. And I appreciate you being able to do that for us up here. All right, my good friend.
I appreciate you saying that. I think you do it just as well as anybody too. I'm going to continue to do it in every single live that I can. We got to talk about this every day. We're not going to let them get away with it.
Nope. No, we are not. All right. Thank you for the money gun. All right, True King. Well, all right, all lefts. Great conversation. And again, please come on back and keep bringing that truth the way that you do. All right, my brother.
I'd love to, man. Take care.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give all lefts a round of applause. No lies detected. You know, this is what I'm saying. They like to say that this show, we spread hate and all this other stuff. We don't spread hate. We spread truth out here, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope that knucklehead that came into my box earlier and was trying to excuse Trump's behavior for January 6th, I hope you send me another guest request. Oh, look at that. My good friend Kay Wasall is in here getting some truth, all right? But if you are still in the audience and you have a problem with the information that's coming out, maybe you didn't hear me at the top of my show, but this message is for you. Listen up.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country,
yes.
If you're not happy here, you can leave.
Right. If you're not happy in this live, pack your bags and leave. All right. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Moving along to my next panelists. Who do we got next? All right, I thought you were going to be available, April, but we'll go here. Good morning, Miss Boss Diva. How are you doing? Boss Diva, are you there? Boss Diva, are you there? It's toggling. No. If you don't believe or agree with any of the stuff that you hear being said, you can send the guest request. The only ask is that you come up here and bring the evidence to support your position. All right. We want people here crave the truth. Miss Boss Diva, I was trying to, for some reason it wasn't patching through. I don't know if you left or not, but please send another guest request. Hi, April. How are you doing?
I'm good, Zeus.
All right.
Another day fighting those MAGA demons.
Absolutely. All right. Great show.
Happy Juneteenth.
Let's go. Happy Juneteenth. Thank you, April. I appreciate it. Please follow April, ladies and gentlemen. She's crushing it out here. All right. One of many, I should say.
Oh, absolutely. And that aisle left, that man is spot on. Is he not just woo?
Yeah.
That was a great addition to the kingdom here.
Thank you. Right? We keep the door to the floor so no one can wiggle through, right? That's what we're doing. We're not gonna let people get away with January 6th.
No. But speaking about Juneteenth, so we were live and we were fighting a MAGA demon yesterday.
Wow.
And we asked him what tomorrow was going to be. Now this was yesterday.
I remember.
And he said, I don't know what, and we just didn't respond to him because he had no idea. So MAGA demons, listen. Now, this is an old country white woman that don't know nothing. But we're going to tell you what Juneteenth is.
Thank you.
Juneteenth was for June the 19th, 1965, 3 years after the Emancipation Proclamation and the war and all going on, there was still these groups that wanted to keep their slaves, and they were all hidden. They didn't know that they had been freed. So then you go to Texas, and we had to send troops down. I think his name was General Granger. And
Yes.
he rides into Texas.
Wow.
I believe, was it Fort Worth? I believe it was Fort Worth.
Wasn't it
Wasn't
Galveston?
Galveston, thank you. You
Mhm.
know, sometimes that dementia kicks in.
No, don't
But
get in. Get the story. It's important to get this story out, right?
okay, yeah, so
It's
all these
1865. You know what we're
18,
saying. You
yeah,
know what
that,
we're saying, you ladies and gentlemen. But please keep us honest. That's what this is
yeah,
about.
so the Emancipation Proclamation was 1863.
Okay.
And
Yep.
it was finally, I think it still wasn't ratified by the states till December of 65. But Granger, a Union general, Granger, rode in with his troops because we had all these buttholes still out there saying, oh, no, I'm not going to tell these people they free. They not going to know that they've been set free. So
Evil. That's evil.
evil people, MAGA demons. They just
Yeah.
MAGA demons.
Yep.
So then Granger rides into Galveston and lets everyone know, announcing all his soldiers going door to door, letting everyone. So that is why they recognize Juneteenth. June 19th is because that is when the last ones finally were told that they had been free. All these.
Yeah. And I like that you're putting it out there, the MAGA demon, because this spirit, this racist, traitorous spirit, it's been around since the founding of this country.
Absolutely. They're the same group. It's the same group. And to quote my friend Itchy that started it a year and a half ago, MAGA is the Confederacy. They want to hold on to this. The whole ideals, everything, the family, talking about nuclear families, all this stuff that they do. It's
Yeah.
all contained to being Confederacy.
Now we were in your live yesterday. That MAGA demon we were talking to. Didn't you remember the conversation when he was surprised when we were trying to explain to him that there are states that even to this day would like to reinstitute slavery. Remember that part?
Oh, absolutely. He said, "Oh, there's no way. I can understand abortion, but no. There's no state that would vote upon that."
Wrong. Right.
And me and you and Jones, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, all the southern states, part of the Confederacy, they absolutely would instill that and vote on that. You get a
Yep.
Republican state house, you darn right they would.
They would, right? That's what I wanted to make sure we got out here in the open. That's why when they said, "Oh, what did you mean when you said on January 6th they wanted to reinstitute slavery?" I said, "That's what this was about." The
Absolutely,
South, they wanted to get in there. You saw the Confederate flag in there, right?
The first time ever in history, Union was never, the Confederacy was never able to do it. But with Donald Trump right there at the helm, driving that MAGA demon into that building, that Confederate flag walked right down in there.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Yep.
These people, if we don't put a stop to these racist, fascist, just really bad, unchristian people, y'all, like Donald Trump says, y'all ain't gonna have a country. You're not gonna have nothing if we don't put a stop to this.
Bingo.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're spot on, April. All right.
And I love you, and I got to get back to work now.
Okay, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's give the beautiful April a round of applause. No lies detected. Thank you, April. All right, you see, ladies and gentlemen, these are real voices coming from different corners of the country speaking the truth. All right, this is why we got to keep getting out here and staying above the misinformation and disinformation and keep serving this truth the way that we do. Yeah, we're laser focused on MAGA, and get this, they don't like it. They hate it when you actually tell them, "I see you, MAGA. I saw what you were doing. Yeah, we saw you parading that Confederate flag around in the United States Capitol. We saw it. Case closed. There's nothing to debate." Let's move it. Oh, there's Miss Boss Diva. All right, there she is. How you doing, Miss Boss Diva? We're going to try this again. All righty then. How you doing, Miss Boss Diva? Trump 2020 to 24 years. Boss Diva, are you there? For some strange reason, it's just, I just see a bunch of, I see it buffering, and it's not patching through. All right, let's give it a couple of more seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Boss Diva, are you there? Boss Diva, I mean, my signal's green. Is yours green? Boss Diva, are you there? For some strange... Oh, they're traveling. Okay, yeah, it's not patching through, Boss Diva. Let's try again. All right, I'm going to bring up our good friend. Oh, she's on a plane. Okay, well, that might be different. Hi, Jess. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm great. How is everybody in the kingdom?
Oh, we're doing... All right, she's traveling today. All right, I got it. Try again, Boss Diva, if you can. I don't know if it's probably the internet access on your end. How are you doing, Jess?
I am great. Did you hear what Joe Biden did yesterday?
I did. About allowing the undocumented to get married.
So
And get
what
their
it
citizenship?
is if they have been married 10 years, up until Monday. So Monday was the deadline. So if you hit the 10-year mark of your marriage on Tuesday, you wouldn't qualify. But if you had 10 years on Monday or before, you would qualify. And this will also help like around 50,000 undocumented children.
Wow.
Because it will also like help their parents and stuff, obviously let them stay here, get their green cards, and help them work. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And it was to counteract his very harsh executive order. So kind of to balance things out.
Yeah. So, and you're saying it was President Biden that did this, not Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Okay, I just
Not
wanted to get
Trump.
that out there. Okay, because you know what MAGA is crying about, Jess, and this is from what I heard yesterday. Two things: the economy and the border. So it looks to me, from the way that I see it, that Biden has basically addressed both of those the best that he can, using the powers of the executive branch of government. Right?
Oh, absolutely. Look at this. Hold on. I got something else to show you that I was, hold on.
I mean, this is a reason to vote for Joe Biden. If you were crying and complaining about the economy and the border, Biden has done things to address both.
So all they have is a narrative, right? This right here is from migration policy, and it says Biden has taken 535 immigration actions compared to Donald Trump's 472.
Wow. Wow.
So, anywho, it's all a narrative. That's all
Yeah.
they have. And
Yeah.
they have to stick to it. You have to repeat the lies loud enough and long enough, and people will start to believe it. And this is a very clear-cut example of you can scream all you want, and MAGA just is so brainwashed, they'll
Yeah.
listen to it.
Yeah.
The narrative, if they move a little bit, it
Yeah.
falls apart. They have to stay and stick to their guns.
Right. Like that one game. What is it, Jenga? It's
Yeah.
like that with MAGA, right? It's hard for them to keep building on the lie because they know at the end of the day it's not going to stand the test of time.
Yep, exactly.
Yes.
Oh, also, so did you also hear about this? This I read about a little bit this morning.
Oh.
And I know, hold on.
Go ahead and bless them. Go ahead and bless them, Jess. All right. This is
So
what
this is for the Russian assets in the comments.
Oh. Here we
Russia
go.
and North Korea have also just signed one of the strongest agreements since the Cold War to advance on the West.
Wow.
So, any hoozles. Food
Isn't
for
it?
thought.
It's
Go
good
ahead.
that we have President Biden at the helm versus Trump while this is going on.
Exactly, because He loves Kim Jong-un. He loves Putin, and that is just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Tell him, Jess.
Isolationism is not a foreign policy, and that is not going to do anything good for the American people.
Thank you. Right.
Also, happy Juneteenth, and I heard my bell.
All right. Well, listen, Jess, thank you so much for bringing the facts like you always do. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the beautiful Jess a round of applause. No lies detected. Okay, I seen a MAGA demon out there, and they said that, well, let me see, make sure this MAGA demon, M.A., won't you come up here, M.A.? I hope you were joking in my chat. If you come on up here, M.A., you were saying something about President Biden disrespecting our troops. M.A., could you come up here and speak on that? M.A.
Yes, all you have to do is look at the latest ad by Trump. It shows all the excerpts.
I can't hear you, M.A. M.A. Are you there? M.A., are you there? See this?
I'm here. Can you?
All right. So you're voting for Donald Trump, correct?
That's correct.
And are you aware of the things Donald Trump has done to disrespect our troops?
Such as
calling them suckers and losers. How about the Dover Air Force Base incident with the Marine who he sent into the Yemen raid without vetting it with his national security advisor? He only did it because Obama wouldn't do it,
let's talk
which
about
resulted
Biden.
in the soldier getting unalived.
Let's talk about
And
Biden first. My post was about Biden, right? Correct?
Oh, but you're a Trump supporter. Your original
That's
conversation piece, you said Biden disrespects our troops. I don't agree with that.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, so I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. What proof do you got?
Well, all you have to do is look at the latest Trump ad, which shows individual families who sent troops to war, who said they never got acknowledgement from the president or the administration after repeated attempts. And then when Biden would talk to troops that were injured in war, he would disrespect them. He would not listen to their pleas. He would not listen to what they had to say. Now, I can't tell you exactly what was said, but if you go and watch the ad, you'll see individual accounts.
You know that's misinformation.
Individual troops.
Where'd you get that information, sir? Sir. I'm not saying you're lying yet, because I'm not.
I'm not lying at all.
But you know how I run this.
I'm a Marine myself, so I have no reason to lie about this.
Okay, but you could be misinformed, right?
Misinformed about what? These are actual true families that went on media and said that Biden and the administration never responded to the questions.
Okay. But listen to what I'm trying to say. I've been doing this for quite a while. Every time a Trump supporter has made a claim, I've always been able to go do some research and find there's a little more. There's a little more to that, right? So I personally, I haven't heard that, right?
Okay.
I have never. I saw the ad, and the ad was making it. Listen, the ad was actually doing a good job pointing out the reasons Donald Trump is a dangerous threat to this country. And
no, you haven't seen the ad. You haven't seen the ad.
Listen.
And secondly, Biden.
Listen, you're
Biden
over
has
talking
made.
me. You're over talking me. All right. Listen, if I let you talk, you should actually let me respond by that. The ad that you're talking about, there's not one out there where Joe Biden is disrespecting the United States military and the troops. I've given you a few examples to go look up on your own about the way Donald Trump does it. And your response to me is what? You were talking about President Biden as if that somehow absolves you from your duty. As you say, you're in the Marines. Thank you for your service. As if it absolves you from your duty to actually go look at Donald Trump and hold him to the same standards that you're trying to hold President Biden to. M.A. All right, M.A., so I'm going to unmute you, and I want you to go get the information you're talking about. Do you have a screenshot of it so the American people listening to this show can go look at it? Because I'll play it right here. If you don't think I've seen it, go play it. Give me the screenshot of which ad you're talking about.
I'm currently driving.
Okay, you're driving.
You're not even letting me speak. Can I speak, please?
Well, you can't overtalk me on my platform.
I won't overtalk you. Can I speak, please?
Yeah.
If you watched the latest ad that he put together, it's a clip of Biden excerpts where he's talking to troops, where he makes an address to the troops saying, after not responding to one of his comments, the troops don't respond in the way he didn't want, in the manner in which he requested. So what does Biden say? He says, clap, you stupid bastards. Okay, that's just one example. There's other clips on there. You need to really go. If you have seen it, you need to go back and look at it again.
I'm looking for that ad, but there's so many ads, all right? And I want to make sure
it's late. It was just put out.
The one that was put out, what, 2 days ago, right?
Right, 2 days ago. And you'll see that clip, and then you'll see injured soldiers.
We see Donald Trump.
Is this the ad you're talking about? Listen up. This one?
Okay, go ahead and play it.
Hold on. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, come on. Okay, here it goes. Hold on.
Play the whole thing, too, so you'll get both sides of it.
In the courtroom, we see Donald Trump for who he is. He's been convicted of 34 felonies, found liable for sexual assault, and he committed financial fraud. Meanwhile, Joe Biden has been working, lowering health care costs, and making big corporations pay.
What ad are you? This is what I'm saying. You got to go get the right ad. But here's the deal, MA. All right? You got, if you can actually get to a spot and come to the show and play the ad you're talking about, you can do it. But as far as I'm concerned, I have no clue what you're talking about. Joe Biden disrespecting the truth. But I will say this. Will you go look up what Donald Trump did at Dover Air Force Base concerning the Yemen raid? Will you go be able to look up the whole calling the U.S. troops suckers and losers, saying, I don't see what's in it for them? How he disrespected the disabled veterans. Are you able to go do that? Are you able to go do that? All right. And we will compare and contrast our notes. All right. Because I don't know what you're talking about. And in terms of the clips and the audio clips, the reason that I'm resistant right now is because I'm aware there's this right-wing effort to make President Biden look like he's got dementia, and they slice and splice things up to make it look like he's saying things that he's really not saying. All right? And the stuff that I'm actually referring to you about is verified by other folks who are in the armed services. All right, MA? I don't know where you're at, MA, but I didn't get what I was looking for, but it's like I said, ladies and gentlemen, if you come in the box, be prepared to bring evidence. What we're going to do is give MA what he deserves, because there's no proof that President Biden has disrespected the United States troops. But there's several videos, audio recordings, articles that prove Donald J. Trump continues to this day to disrespect our troops. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, he also disrespects our intelligence agencies, right? While he was president, he would often side with the intelligence of countries like Russia and even North Korea, maybe even China, as opposed to our intelligence community, right? So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's give these Trump supporters, what was his name? MA. Let's give him what he deserves. A round of boos and shame. Nice try, bro. Nice try. Yeah.
You MAGA demon.
And by the way, like I said, if you bring up a claim about Joe Biden, MAGA, I promise you, every single claim you got as a gotcha on Joe Biden, there's thousands of more of proof that Donald Trump has done it and done it worse. So I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it. You need to be able to articulate why you still believe this con man who's recently been convicted. Found liable for S.A.ing E. Jean Carroll. 26 other women have also accused him. Cheated on all 3 of his wives. Ran a fraudulent business empire for decades and has been fined $500 million. Who stole our national secrets and sold them. God knows what this man did with them. Let me go to take care of Afghanistan is what he says in the middle of an interview. He's deranged. And you have the audacity. I got to give him another round of booze and shame. You have the audacity to come into my live and talk about Joe Biden's campaign ad. And that's the gotcha that he's disrespecting our troops. You are deranged and conflicted. Let's give him another round of booze and shame. This is kind of, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Silence! You never demon!
I don't let Trump supporters be victims around me, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely not. All right, let's bring up RC Dubs. How are you doing, bro?
Oh, shoot. Sorry. I just realized you let me up.
Oh, okay. Are you there? Okay.
How you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm all right. I'm all right. You?
I'm good. Let me, if you don't mind, let me show something real quick. Because, of course, they always have to lie about Biden when they deflect from Trump.
Okay.
But what Joe Biden was doing was joking with the troops.
Oh.
If you go watch the video, it's clear that he was joking.
Oh.
But when you watch Trump denigrate POWs and he says, I only like people who weren't captured, that's not a joke.
Oh.
When he calls suckers and the veteran suckers and losers, that's not a joke.
Oh.
So it's just like that thing when they had him supposedly wandering away from the crowd, looking at nothing. He was looking at parachuters. Everything they always try to pretend about Biden is a lie. They have to lie about Biden to deflect from Trump.
Wow.
When Trump, we can't even quote Trump to them. I was reminding some hypocrite that Trump actually bragged about assaulting women. When they're trying to pretend that they care about Tara Reid, they denigrate E. Jean Carroll. Who actually ended up in court? Tara Reid or E. Jean Carroll? Because Tara Reid ran to Moscow. She didn't go to court. Wow. Her lawyer said she was a liar. Her friends said she was a manipulative, deceitful user. E. Jean Carroll got Trump held accountable twice in court. Wow. So they can't ever claim to have any credibility on any of these topics. They don't care about the truth. They only care about getting Trump reelected. This hypocrite that I've been talking to the last couple of days who doesn't want to go live with me keeps pretending he cares about victims. Every time we mention E. Jean Carroll, he doesn't care about her. So who doesn't care about the victim? Even if you don't believe she was assaulted, she was definitely defamed.
Bingo.
She was defamed twice. He not only defamed her the first time, he couldn't control his mouth because he has no impulse control, and he defamed her again. So even if you don't believe the assault, Biden did not defame Tara Reid when she came out with an accusation. She actually got proven to be a liar. She even had once bragged about helping Biden pass the Violence Against Women Act in the 90s when Trump was committing such violence, according to E. Jean Carroll, and now a jury and a judge, and according to his first wife that he buried on the golf course.
Wow.
So you cannot tell me you care about victims when you are a grapist apologist for Trump. And you can't tell me you care about veterans when you support a man who calls them suckers and losers and doesn't like if they get captured fighting for this country.
That part.
So
What's in it for them? That's what he said.
Every single Trump supporter listening, if you served, I respect your service. Do you know who doesn't? Trump. So remember the oath that you took was to the Constitution and not to that psychopath who thinks you're a sucker and a loser. Figure out which side you're on. Is it the Constitution and America, or is it some egomaniacal, malignant, narcissistic, racist, misogynistic, pathological lying grifter?
Crushing.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
No. I appreciate you, RC. All right. This is why we have the community we have here, is because when folks start to lying, people are listening, and folks like you, RC, you come up here with the real spill. All right. Fact check. Joe Biden called them the nasty words, but it was a joke. And this MAGA demon got into the live today and tried to spread that lie. Gotcha!
And in context, the soldiers he was talking to laughed and clapped along because they know he cares about them. His own son died because he served this country. He got cancer serving this country near a burn pit. And that's the sacrifice his family made. Biden's family has made that sacrifice for this country. Trump's little brats have never served. So I don't want to hear shit about it. But excuse me.
Got you. I
almost
got you.
made it. I almost made it.
Oh, no, I got you. But you know what? You get a pass. All right, RC.
Thank you,
I
sir. You have a
appreciate
good
you.
one.
All right, you two, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to RC Dubs. All right, this is what we're talking about. Liars will not prosper over here in TikTok. So MA and all you other Trump supporters, I mean, I didn't believe it. It just didn't feel like the truth, right? But RC Dubs, you came in and put the proverbial nail in the coffin, and that is another conspiracy that has been officially debunked. Do you Trump supporters? Oh, you have a video for? Oh, okay, Nutty, you got the video. Okay. All right, yeah. See, this is how we get to the bottom of these. Cause I hate having to waste my time doing this.
So RC did a fabulous job, but can I just play it? This is about 40 seconds long.
Oh,
so
sure.
I'll get started.
Sure.
Campaign ad released around the D-Day commemoration features veterans giving their thoughts on Donald Trump, and here it is.
A good commander-in-chief is somebody who gives a name is Curtis Register. I served in the United States Marine Corps.
My name is Ed McCabe. I served from the 1990s into 2014.
Hey, my name is Matthew McLaughlin. I was a Navy pilot for 8 years.
It is the first time I'm shaking the hands of a president of the United States. It was pretty impactful to me to see an individual that supports troops, not just on the battlefield, but when we return home.
I see a man in Joe Biden who accepts accountability and responsibility. And when I see his predecessor, Donald Trump, I see a man who is only in this for himself.
Who criticizes veterans, who doesn't see it important for him to go to the funerals.
Donald Trump has zero accountability in his life.
He's a draft dodger, simple as that.
I think the election is the difference between authoritarianism and democracy. And I came to see a president that cares about maintaining democracy.
Donald Trump, he's not fit to be commander-in-chief. He's not fit to lead a squad, and he's definitely not fit to be president of the United States.
So, a very typical sort of Biden. Contrast, it's
So I just wanted to quickly just play that video for people like MA who are, Zeus, I keep saying this. I've said this for the last few days that I've been on your platform. You are much nicer than I am. You are much nicer than I am. So MA, you can take your fake patriotism, you can take your fake I'm in the Marine Corps crap, and I'm not thanking you for anything, sir. Because if you are truly in the military and you want to support a draft dodger, if you are truly in the military and you want to support someone who has advocated for suspending the Constitution that you swore an oath on, then you can. Yeah, okay. I got to keep it clean.
You got to keep it clean, but I get it. I felt it.
I got to keep it clean. Because the people who you just saw in that video, they served and are still serving this country. They took an oath to the Constitution, not to a man. Not to a man. The Constitution of the United States. Thank you for letting me up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Nutty gets another round of applause. I just can't believe this so-called Marine got into the live and said that. I can't believe he said that and ignored everything Donald Trump has done to disrespect our troops. See, we got to go there, folks. We got to go. Air Force retired. How are you doing?
Pretty good, sir. How you doing?
I'm all right. What a show, right?
That was a very disgusting individual, M.A. To say something like he did to support a man like Trump. Like Nutty just said, that man didn't support us. He was spit on us. He didn't serve his country. He said that gave false information like bone spurs. This one politician said if he really had bone spurs, get his feet examined because they would be still there. It would be still there.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's really just disgusting for a veteran and a black man at that, to show his support, throw his support behind somebody like Donald Trump. That kind of right now, but that infuriates me.
That does too. It gets to me too. These like you know, I'm sitting there thinking, you do know that the party that the racists in this country, they're supporting Donald Trump, and you do know that you're aligning yourself with them. Number one, right?
Yeah, they align themselves with them, but they got to understand one thing. Black people in this country, since the Civil War, even before the Civil War, we proved time and time again how much we love this country by giving our blood for this country. Look at Henry Johnson. That man fought in World War I. He died destitute because the country wouldn't recognize heroism that he did for this country. And it just upsets me when somebody get up there like that. It just,
sorry,
oh man.
Brother. I'm sorry, brother. Don't worry though. We gonna get it
love
right,
my
brother.
country, okay? But this man is trying to destroy our country.
Wow.
He's trying to destroy it, and y'all can't even recognize that.
Wow.
I'm sorry, brother.
No. Let it out. Listen. That's what this is about. The fact that they don't care, right? You serve this country, sir. Thank you for your service. And you got folks out here acting like your service doesn't matter because they want to be loyal to this man who openly disparages people of color and our troops. You have every right to cry, my good friend. You really do.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
No. It's time.
It just infuriates me, man, to see here, listen to these people just talk this noise, and when you all bring receipts and show them, and they just like, no. I'm going like, you all can't even. It's just like, oh God, it's unexplainable, bro. It's really unexplainable.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, that's why I don't like to use the term, but that's why I say it's a demonic force. There's no other way to describe the way that they can actually submit themselves to this man. Could Donald Trump, with being a felon, right? Could he ever be an officer with a felony on his record? Huh?
No.
Could you imagine an officer with the felony trying to hold you accountable while in the military? Could you imagine that happening? How could he hold you accountable when he's corrupt?
Yeah.
This is what's going on in America right now because of Donald Trump and his supporters. It's a demonic force. It's a strong demonic force.
They don't understand, man. This man is trying to take us down a path that's the things he's doing, the disrespect for the judicial system, the disrespect for the veterans, the disrespect for anything that don't go his way. And I can't understand how people sit there and idolize this man like he got all the answers. When you listen to him talk, you listen to sheer ignorance.
They think they're smart. They think they're intelligent. And at this point, like I said, this is what I find peace in doing. Number one, I don't allow them to be victims around me, right? Because look at the harm they've caused this country, right? They've caused this country a lot of harm, and they continue to do it. And then they turn around and try to be victims. I say, no, you're not the victims. You're the harassers and the abusers, number one. And then the next thing is, like I've been saying, piggybacking on what our good friend Hitchy says, what's worse than being a racist? You're traitors. These folks are traitors. And we saw it on January 6th where it all came together, where they tried to reinstitute slavery when they marched through the Capitol with that Confederate flag because of Donald Trump's big lie. This is what we're dealing with, America. But you know what? It's not going to go their way, because I do believe that when it comes down to it, the will of the American people is to go forward, not backwards. Right, Mr. Air Force retired?
Sir, but all
right.
God bless America.
All right, and keep the faith. All right, my good friend. But thank you for having the courage to come
I'm sorry
up
to
here.
crown like that.
No. We don't apologize to these Trump supporters. As far as I'm concerned, It's
I
it's
love
it's
my country.
it's a war cry. I get it. All right. It's a war cry. I
Yeah.
get it. It's totally
Yeah.
acceptable over here. All right. We got
Take
to
care.
show folks we got a range of emotions and we're comfortable with all of them. All right. It's part of being a human. I appreciate you and thank you again for your service. All right.
Sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Air Force retired what he deserves. An honorable round of applause. I mean, we're going to get it right, ladies and gentlemen, all right? We're not going to shy away from holding these Trump supporters accountable, all right? I'm going to try to get to a good amount of, few more of you, all right? And then we're going to, hi, Straight Facts, good morning, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine this morning. How are you guys doing in the kingdom?
All right, just another day, tending to the affairs as usual.
Well, good. And I just heard that, what's his name? American vet? What was his name?
Army Air Force retired, yeah.
Air Force retired. I want to say thank you for serving our country, and we all feel your pain, sir. We are all frustrated just as well as you are. And let me tell you something. I want to let you guys know that I'm coming in here to give you an update about Boss Diva. Boss Diva is on her way to Texas to celebrate Juneteenth.
Let's go.
Because we're having
All right. Thank you, because I was trying to bring her up and it kept timing out.
Yeah, she's in the airport, so her plane, her connecting flight in LA was a little delayed.
Okay.
But she'll be there at maybe 30 minutes later than she thought she was.
Okay.
So she's doing fine.
All
but
right.
I want to say happy Juneteenth to everybody in the room. And the reason why I'm going to Texas is because although we know that the Emancipation Proclamation was on 1865, but the people in Texas didn't get the information until 2 years later.
Ain't that something?
And the people that were enslaving those people knew all along that those people were now free again and didn't even tell them.
Ain't that something?
Let them work and didn't even let them know that they were freed men and women.
Wow.
So when MAGA comes up here and they try to pretend like everything isn't about race, it absolutely is about race. Because if everything wasn't about race, then Donald Trump would have his orange behind sitting behind jail cells right now. So I want you guys to think about it. When you guys come into our comment section and you call us these racist slurs, Democrats aren't doing that.
Nope.
It's only MAGA. When we pull you up out of the comment section because you said a racial slur, you are absolutely a MAGA. And I'm going to tell you a thing. Joe Biden made Juneteenth a federal holiday.
Tell him.
Made a federal holiday. Now, I know that sometimes you guys will call that, some people would say that's just symbolization. It's a little bit of trinket, but it goes a long way, because what it did was it recognized that the United States of America was complicit in owning and harboring enslaved humans. And that it took 2 years for our ancestors to learn that they were free. And then even still, they weren't free. They participated in sharecropping because they had no other way of supporting themselves.
Amen. Tell them straight facts.
It's absolutely horrendous what has been done to our people. And the more and you guys continue it every single day on TikTok, and then you turn around and say, I want to be your friend. I think not. I think not. So moving forward, MAGA, I want you guys to understand, every single minute that you vote against us is going to be every single minute we're going to press against you.
Yep.
And if you think you had a fight on your hands with Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement, well, you got a bigger fight on your hand with this Black liberation movement because it's all gas, no brakes.
Tell them straight
and
facts.
we're not going to stop until we get the actual freedom that we had before we were brought over here on boats because we were free.
Amen.
With.
Amen.
Tell us freed us doesn't do it. It doesn't give us any favors. We don't owe you anything because we should have never been enslaved in the first place.
Amen. Tell them
all
straight
right, I'm
facts.
getting on the body.
All right. And y'all stay safe
y'all have
out
a
there.
Wonderful day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to the beautiful straight facts. No lies detected. All right. Let's move it along. I mean, all truth, all gas, no brakes when it comes to holding MAGA accountable. I see there's some dissension in my comment section. You know what I say, ladies and gentlemen?
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can.
Yes. Welcome back, brother. What brings you to the show today?
Welcome back. Thanks for having me on, Zeus. Just wanted to say that I guess I was blocked from your comment section, so that's why I wasn't able to speak at all.
Well, you got in trouble out there. My moderators are the best in the business, right? And you got to listen to the mod. Seriously. What were you saying?
What I was saying earlier, we were talking about Juneteenth. Like I said, happy Juneteenth.
Okay. Do you celebrate Juneteenth?
Yeah, I do. But funny thing enough, here in California, Los Angeles, it was canceled because there was insufficient funds, so we can't celebrate Juneteenth today.
So what was canceled? The holiday
Juneteenth celebration in Leimert Park.
The celebration that you wanted to go to. So what does that mean for you? Because it's still a holiday. It's still a federal holiday, and that's not the only thing you can do to celebrate. Do you work?
Yeah, I work.
Are you working today?
Sometimes, depends.
So you have to clock in today.
Yeah, I do most of my work from home, and then sometimes I got to go in.
Okay. Well, there's other places. Some people, they got today off, so I was just curious. All right. And so, what is the issue you have today? Just that the event was canceled that made you upset?
Yeah, that event was canceled, and earlier. Well, let me go into Juneteenth a little bit more.
And what was the name of the event? I'm just kidding.
You can look it up right now. It's the Leimert Park celebration. It's in Leimert Park. It happens every year in Los Angeles.
Okay. Keep talking. I'm just looking it up. I'm just trying to look it up.
Oh, yeah. And everyone's saying I'm lying. You about to find out real quick. But anyway, Juneteenth. So, actually, it was passed in...
Oh, it says postponed.
Canceled. It's canceled.
No, that's not what postponed means.
No, they say it's postponed, but it's been canceled for 3 weeks because I know a couple of...
Oh, gosh, bro. Why would you... Postponed and canceled are two completely different things.
But see, they rechanged the words because I said 3 weeks ago I found this out. They canceled it because that city that ran out of funds. So basically, it's been going on because the council person there, I believe her name is Hillary. I forget her last name, but basically she just took over last year, and there's been a record of her stealing funds and mismanaging funds. So we're not going to go here or there about that.
So this is a local issue.
Yes.
Not a state issue, not a national issue. This is some local politics going on. And I'll just read the very first opening line. It says, "It's with heavy heart, bearing news that no community leaders want to deliver due to unforeseen circumstances and the rising costs required to ensure a safe and compliant event. We have decided to postpone this year's Leimert Park Juneteenth Festival to 2025. All right. And so this is a funding issue.
Yeah, like I said, it's mismanagement of funds. So
no. It's not just that. It sounds like there's work for you to do in your community to help make sure events like this have funding they need. So what have you done to help make sure events like this get the proper funding they need? What do you do?
Specifically, I don't speak on specifically what I do. I don't tell nobody specifically what I do, but I do help out my community as well. And the reason why I knew this is because I knew this, like I told you, I knew this 3 weeks ago, because of the funds have been mismanaged, because there's been a lot of things going on with the city. There's been a lot of, with our mayor, there's been a lot of things going on with the money that hasn't been from the homeless, and from a lot of things, the money's been switching back and forth. So, and no one's been accountable for it, and it's been a problem for about 2 years now.
Okay, so that has nothing to do with you.
Not directly.
To me, this when you start talking about the administrative side of implementing programs, that's depending on the organizations involved. That sounds like that's a personnel issue going on within these organizations. You and I have really no control over that, other than maybe, I don't know, getting them out, trying to get them voted out if it's at that level, or trying to get the people that are there written up and taken care of. So outside of that, are you doing anything like that to try to hold these city leaders accountable?
Well, yeah, like you said, change the vote, but I mean, that's never going to happen.
So outside of that, right? You're signing petitions to get them removed.
You see, the last petition I was a part of was the Gavin Newsom was recalling Gavin Newsom.
So you tried to get Gavin Newsom recalled.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Everything that you are trying to. It's funny how life comes back and bites those who are wrong in the rear end. So outside of that, what else do you do? Just besides trying to get Democrats recalled?
Well, not well. I mean, I live in Los Angeles, so I mean that's all there is here. There's nothing else here. And for the past 25 years, they've had a super majority, and I don't see them doing anything for the black community at all here. It's been.
But I was asking,
years.
but sir, and then I got to move on. All right. What are you doing currently to help the black community? That's all I need to know.
What I do, I designate food drives. I have food drives. I barbecue sometimes on the weekends with the area I'm talking about where I go to, and I have barbecue and I give away to people. I actually talk to I know a couple of city leaders who've been there for over a couple of years. When Nipsey Hussle died, he was trying his best to change that community when he died, because he was trying his hardest, and that's the one thing that really made me sad. It wasn't about about
barbecue.
Him. He was the only one that basically talked to the people.
Barbecue and rap music.
Is
that what you think blacks need?
What do you mean? Barbecue? I mean, that's what I do. Like I don't understand.
Okay. Hey, I gotta move on. All right, I've heard enough today.
But let me know.
That takes the cake, bro.
No, one thing I want to say for real though is honestly, okay, you want to talk about Juneteenth, but what was the party that basically signed that amalgamation proclamation?
What party?
The Republican Party, sir.
Oh, what party delivered civil rights?
The Republican Party. It was signed under law by Lyndon B. Johnson, but the Republican Party passed it.
No. See, there you go. Listen, brother.
It was signed by Lyndon B. Johnson. I told you.
Misinformed. Right now, where the racists at right now? Which party are the racists?
1964.
No. Listen, see, so you want to play like that. What party are the racists currently voting in?
The Dixie Democrat Party, which has been flipped.
So, the Republican?
No.
No.
Been flipped. It's always been
Oh, so the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys, you're saying they are in the Democrat Party right now?
Honestly, those people have no political alliance. They want no government. If you really want to talk about those people, they don't like government.
Okay, well, I need you to go do some research, all right, and then bring the proof to support that. But as far as I'm concerned,
but I have a bunch of proof on my.
No. See, and on that note,
I can show you right now.
No. I got to do away with him and dispose of him conveniently. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving that brother who is possessed with a MAGA demon what he deserves. He's going to get this booze and shame because I've never heard this one before. What are you doing for the black community? I'm giving them barbecue chicken and rap music, Zeus, and then I'm giving them this MAGA demon that I'm carrying and possessed with. That's a new one. To all my black brothers and sisters out there, watch out for this brother handing out barbecue chicken and what else? Rap music out in L.A. He's a dangerous person. Let's give him a round of booze and shame. You're a disgrace, bro.
I am very demon.
I've never heard anything like that. Watch out for that, brother. You want this MAGA demon? Well, come on over here. I got some barbecue chicken. Who made it? Oh, I made it myself. Oh, you know that. You can't trust that. You just can't eat everybody's barbecue, number one. And I got some Nipsey Hussle over here. Yeah, come on over here to this car that I got the Nipsey Hussle playing in, and I'm handing out barbecue chicken. You don't need anything else. You just need this barbecue chicken. Look at what it did to me. You're dangerous. All right, like my good friend Nutty says, you're smart enough. You're just smart enough to be dangerous. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. You can't make this stuff up, folks. You can't. I've never heard anything like this. I see you, Shay. All right, Takesha.
Hey, my sweetie, how are you today?
I'm all right. Can you make sense of this brother out here voting
He
for
can't
Donald
even
Trump?
make sense of himself, Zeus. Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth to you. All right.
Listen, Zeus, my son barbecues and he takes it to his friends and everything. So what does that mean? That he out there barbecuing, probably got the toughest meat in the world, ain't got no seasoning on it because you know you're a Republican. So that means he really can't cook. I said that must be Tim Scott's little nephew.
Oh,
he got on Zeus show acting, you know, a total nut.
Yeah.
And then with the misinformation at the end, you could tell he's not very educated. That's why I say a lot of our people fail for lack of knowledge.
Preach.
They're perishing, Zeus, for lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Now let me say this, Zeus.
Tell them,
because I
Takesha.
saw something yesterday. I want you to let me know if it's true or you know if can we really research it. I saw something yesterday that said that Tim Scott had a child on the way.
I heard.
Zeus, if that's true, I know the good Christian man has not been out here committing adultery.
Oh!
And getting some woman who is not his wife with child, Zeus. Not the good Christian.
He out here fornicating.
Fornicating. Committing adultery. Come on, Zeus.
Well.
She's not his wife. I know he has not laid down in the den of sin.
Oh.
And got him a baby.
Plowing
Lord,
seeds.
I tell you, I'm just want to break out the church doors and just, you know, bring him in and you know, lay hands on him.
Wow.
To get him back in right standing with the Lord.
Well, wait a second. Now, listen, I got something. It says he's set to become a stepfather after marrying Mindy Nose.
Okay.
His mother of three interior.
I was just finna say, I know Tiny Tim ain't out here laying down with nobody but himself.
Oh. So he's marrying someone. Oh, she's a white lady. Okay,
that's the one he brought on stage.
Okay,
they not finna marry for real. He just doing that so he could try to be the vice president. But check this out.
Oh, that's what this is about. Got it.
That's why I said, please look it up.
A lovely Christian girl.
Because you know we like to have the truth. That's why I said look it up for me.
The two hit it off. Talking about God, and using an app to do Bible study together.
No, they did.
You don't believe this?
No, they ain't studied no Bible. Stop that. Cut it out. But listen, I was on this site.
I can't with these folks. I can't.
I was on my General Hospital site.
Okay.
And General Hospital had said Happy Juneteenth. You know, they celebrate everything.
Right.
And I saw some people on there saying, we're not celebrating that made-up holiday. And so, Zeus, I had went on there, you know, because my mouth real smart.
Yeah.
And I said, what does a holiday take from your living? What does Juneteenth, how is that having an impact on the way you live?
Right.
Or what you earn, what you drive, your way of living. What does a holiday have to do with that? But you know what I said, Zeus, and I don't want any of my my Caucasian friends, this is not towards you all. What I want to say is this. Your race is made up and nobody's bothering you. There was no such thing as the white race. They made it up. We're not bothering you about that. What are you upset about Juneteenth for? At least Juneteenth is true, is when all slaves were free.
Right.
So why does that holiday bother you so bad?
Yeah.
I never got an answer on
They don't have any coherent answer that makes sense to Keisha. They're in their feelings, and that's what this is all about. And actually they hate the fact when they look out and they see, people of color doing well. They hate that.
Listen, Zeus, and to say that racism does not exist is really a joke. Because I found out, I always knew it, but on the site I was on, I saw it all up and down, in the comments. And I said, I think it's a sad day when people hate people for the color of their skin after they keep going laying on the beach trying to get our color.
Hey, that part.
You got the suntan man. You got the suntan man spraying himself every day, trying to get a little darker, trying to put some melanin in that'll never come. Stop it, y'all.
Stop it. Tell them, Takesha. Tell them the truth.
I just wanted to come on, and put a little truth and, see about Tim Scott. And then, his nephew had upset me while I was waiting in the comments. So
don't worry, we gonna get him. We gonna get him, and we gonna get him fire baptized. All right, so that, like I said earlier, when they meet they maker, they ain't gonna have no excuse.
Well, that's the only baptism he gonna get is fire, because that's when he gonna be going.
All right, with his barbecue chicken and rap music combo.
Exactly. Like that's all we wanted, some greasy faces and a dance. He needs to shame himself.
Really, he really should be.
But you have a good day, friend.
All right. You too, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to the beautiful Takesha. No lies detected. Yeah, that's a new one, right? Oh, I'm going to be handing out. I don't trust nobody with no barbecue chicken at this point. All right. Hey, Shay, how are you doing, my good friend? How are you doing?
I'm good. How's everybody in the kingdom?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Just another day tending to these affairs. All right. Miki
yeah, it's been a really good show. So I've enjoyed watching it.
Wow, thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just here at work. That's where I work.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Over there cleaning up real nice like. Oh, that's
I know. It's a beautiful private event space. It's a wine cellaring location, so we hold a lot of wine events. So like Thursday night we're hosting the big Wagner family. For those of you who don't know that, that's Imelo, that's Camus, and things like that. But yeah, so we'll have a big event here tomorrow night. So I'm in here about to get set up for that. And big wine tasting. And we put all the food and the wines on this beautiful table. So it's just kind of a neat thing. And then the big part of our business is the cellar. So about 6,000 square feet back behind that big door right there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like kept at 55 degrees, and people store their wines back there. So
wow,
I can show you that if you want to see that. But yeah, but what I wanted to
nice, I love it.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Yes. I always love the cribs and the house visits and tours like that, especially when it's got a nice spread. Unlike that one character that used to come in here and lie to us about his spread. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, obviously, we're going to talk about Juneteenth today, as we all should. This is the flag, the Jubilee flag, the Juneteenth flag. So if you see it, you'll know what it is. And there's been a lot of discussion on the history of it, so I just wanted to bona fide just a tiny bit of facts. So everybody's had it very, very correct, a few things here and there. But, yeah, so when the proclamation, right, Emancipation Proclamation, that was January of 1863. So when Granger went down to Texas in June of 1865. So we're talking 2.5 years.
Wow.
These forced slaves in Texas were still enslaved. 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation.
Right.
Now, just kind of like a historical side note, the Emancipation Proclamation only freed in southern states. It did not free any slaves held in Union-controlled areas, just FYI. It was not until the 13th Amendment, which was in January of 1865, that actually freed all slaves. Kind of an interesting note. I don't know if you know this, but that Bible, the Constitution that was put inside the Trumpy Bible,
yes,
did not include the 13th Amendment.
Oh.
Yeah.
And why is that?
Well,
See,
because they only put the original part of the Constitution from 1791. It does not have the entire Constitution in it, which means it does not honor freedom of black people, women's voting rights, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It does not include the entire Constitution. Wow. So, but your 2 A's in there, so just so you know that. But yeah, so that's kind of an interesting point. And here's what I want to just ask all of you Trumpies.
Right, Bam, but I'm angry about it.
Right? So here's what I want to ask you. I want to see any right-leaning lives celebrating Juneteenth today. Let's see if we can find one.
That's a good question.
It'll be like a scavenger hunt, you know? Or maybe it could be like a needle in a haystack kind of search, you know? Like, let's see if they really do stand for the black community.
Maybe we could get, you know that gentleman that came in here offering barbecue chicken and rap music. You think he's going to... K Wasall, are you in the chat? K Wasall, are you in the chat? Are you... Let me see. Is he muted? Let me see if he's... Let me make sure I'm unmute this... Unmute him. All right, put it in the... All right, I unmuted you. Are you going to host a live about Juneteenth today and sell barbecue chicken and rap music, K Wasall? I would love to come in there. Okay, he said he will. All right, send me an invite. All right.
We'll come on and celebrate with you because this is a time when we can sit here because you're right. You talked about that, Zeus. I have noticed that too. When we go into right-leaning lives, they're starting to talk about, can't we just come together, right? No. I mean, of course, you have the right to vote and how you want to, but your voting, the way you vote, actually hurts people.
Yep.
It hurts people. Do you know that 35,000 women have fled the state of Texas since the overturning of Roe v. Wade to get their necessary medical procedures?
35,000. Wow.
35,000. That's a lot of women. So you see, when you do things like ending Roe v. Wade, you're not stopping abortion. You're not.
Nope.
You're doing nothing. All you're doing is creating more hardships and putting women's lives in peril. Okay? For this little embryo you will never meet and never know anything about, nor will it affect your life.
Yeah.
But when it's your sister, your mother, your aunt, your daughter, that's going to affect your life personally. I mean, you guys need to get a clue. So I'm ready to see those of you on the right that say that the MAGA group is absolutely cares about the black community and that Trump does too. Let's see you celebrate Juneteenth today.
Yeah, and he said he's going to, Shay. I would love to see all of those so-called patriots that we visited on the right go and support this brother today who will be offering barbecue chicken and rap music while celebrating Juneteenth. This live should at least have 5,000 people in it, right?
It should. But yeah, it's just kind of interesting. If he was such a big supporter of Juneteenth, then why didn't Trump do the Emmett Till bill? Why didn't he do the anti-lynching bill?
Yeah.
Why didn't he make Juneteenth a federal holiday? These are just questions I'm always asking people that think that he absolutely cares about the black community.
Tell them, Shay.
Yeah, that's just my question. And this is coming from your residential white savior. So, anyway. See, even though I'm BIPOC, but you know, whatever. It is what it is.
Well, you know, they call me all kinds of names too, Shay. So at this point.
Oh, I know. I love it. I think it's hysterical.
We just lean into all their accusations, but at the same time, point out the fact that the real convicted felon is Donald Trump, right?
Absolutely, my friend.
The real white savior is supposedly Donald. I can't. All right. Every MAGA accusation is truly a MAGA confession. Oh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful Shay. Oh my gosh, gentlemen, behave. All right.
You're so cute.
Yeah.
It's at work. Y'all want to see the wine cellar?
Let's do it. We got a few more minutes. Let's show them the wine cellar. All right. Conservative D, control yourself, sir.
Oh, he doesn't understand.
He's struggling. He can't help himself.
I know, right? So this is the big cellar.
Oh.
And what's really neat is we have this thing called the Napoleon Cave, and this is where we can do some like little private pop-up dinners and in the cellar.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really neat. We have some private tastings.
Dinner in the cellar?
Yeah, yeah. It's a little chilly, but when you get a lot of people in there, it's all good.
It's a little warm. I can see that.
So this is the wine lockers, basically. A lot of people store their wines and with us, and we've got some big ones too. So kind of the smaller ones, and then this is kind of like the step up from there, and then
Gentlemen, behave. They're acting real naughty in the comment section. Gentlemen, behave.
Oh, you guys are sweet. Thank you. Appreciate it.
They're trying to do things in this cool cellar that they know they shouldn't do.
But yeah, we've got some big time collectors, as you can see.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. They have a good time, and with that, they get all kinds of neat benefits here. We've got outdoor patio with a nice grill and fire pit, and they can bring steaks and open a bottle of wine. They can do whatever they want. It's kind of a home away from home, which is.
Did you say open wine and do whatever you want? Keep it clean,
No.
You got some men out here and maybe some ladies out here getting wild out here. I'm gonna need y'all to keep it clean.
Right? I know, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, the light come on. Yeah. Oh, there it is. The sensor light.
Bring some barbecue chicken and rap music.
But yeah, so this is what I do. So I'm not a lazy liberal. I actually work for a living.
Good. That's what I like to see. Well, Shay, you've done an outstanding job showing and telling today. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful Shay once again. Wow.
So anyway, happy Juneteenth to my beautiful brothers and sisters out there, and I hope you have a fantastic time. I'm hoping to see Miss Boss Diva in Straight Facts.
All right.
If it works out on my schedule to pop by and say hello and give them a squeeze. So
all right.
In my hut. They're in H-Town.
Okay. You're really going to see them in person. Got it.
I'm hoping so.
Wow. Let's go.
Amazing. I just want to give them a squeeze and then let them party their booties off because they deserve it. So.
All right. They do. All right.
Love you guys in the kingdom. Everybody have a wonderful day, and let's see if we see some jubilees out there today.
All right. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Shay. No lies detected. I knew it. I knew she was going to help us wrap this up in a very, very uplifting way. All right. Now, before I'm well past my time slot. Before I get up out of here, there is something I do need to address. And if I didn't get to you today, it doesn't mean I love you any less, but I will get to you tomorrow. I promise. I want to talk to you again, Kayus.
Okay.
So you agreed to go live today and celebrate Juneteenth. And I thought, you know what? That's something any one of you can do, right? You don't need any excuses for why you can't. You can do it. So you're going to do it today, correct?
Yeah, but my first time ever going live, and like I said, I would be at Lamert Park today, but I'm not there today.
Wait a second, I had a call. All right, I didn't catch you. Okay, so normally you would be where?
I would normally be at Lamert Park, but like I said, since circumstance led today that it's not going to be an event, I wasn't there today.
What time are you? What time can we go live and see this event that you're going to go live and host?
Like I said, I'll just go live myself. Like
what time?
I don't have an event.
What time?
I just told you it was canceled.
No. What time are you going live? Because I'm following you, right? So I'll be able to see you go live and then send the invite out to other people so we can see how conservatives celebrate Juneteenth.
All right. Let's see. What time is it now?
8. What is it? 9:13.
13. I'll go live like at 11:30, like for about like 20-30 minutes, and then
no, just you only gonna give black folks 30 minutes. Fine, let's do it. I'm not gonna give you any opportunity to get out of this, and I expect to see a packed live. All right, because after all, this is a good cause, right?
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I've never been live before, so we'll find out.
Okay, and if it's not a good turnout, I'm going to ask you to reflect on why that happened, all right? Seriously.
I've never been live before, so I'm trying to tell you right now, Zeus, I've never, ever been live before.
Well, this is a good time for you to get an accurate assessment about where you stand on the spectrum. All right. So invite, and can you make sure to invite all your friends that are MAGA?
I'll invite them. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to be there. I promise you. All right. Just make sure you send the invite, and you could send it because I follow you now. All right. So go ahead and accept that follow. All right. And we're gonna be like the best of pals today on Juneteenth.
All right.
And are you gonna have some barbecue chicken at 11:30 and some of that
Bro, I never said
you didn't say Kendrick. You gonna have some Kenny playing?
No, brother. What I said was that the only person who was doing something for that committee, the Levert Park committee, was Nipsey Hussle, because he was organizing.
But now you are that. Now you are the brother that can do something on TikTok. No excuses. What kind of rap music will we be hearing over there?
I don't know. I'm gonna go to Lamar Park anyway because I know vendors are out there, but it's not gonna be like it normally is. It's not gonna be a big event. It's gonna be small. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, send me the invite, all right? And I'm keeping my calendar clear for this 30 minutes. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give K. Saul a round of applause. We will be going to see him live at 11:30, hosting a Juneteenth event. All right, in honor and remembrance of ending slavery in the United States of America, and he has agreed to invite his Trump-supporting friends to attend. I expect to see something I've never seen before. He will be offering barbecue chicken and perhaps even rap music.
No, I won't. Like I told you, I'm gonna be walking around just saying what's up to people. But
no. Well, you can't just turn the camera on and say what's up. Do something in honor and remembrance of this day. Have some content ready to share out.
But I told you, like I told you before, I was planning on being there, and I was planning on, had something to do. But I told you it was canceled. I found out 3 weeks ago it was canceled.
Okay. Well, bring what you have, all right, and we'll judge it based on what you got, all right?
I wasn't expected to do nothing, so that's fine.
Yeah. But now you didn't wrote a check. It's time to cash.
I told you, I'll go live and walk around. Like, what else can I do?
Oh! Get some content that actually shows show us how down you are.
But like I said, I don't do live. I don't do this.
Don't do nothing like this. Hey guys, look at that. That's Juneteenth. Hey guys, that's Juneteenth. And then no, 10 toes down. Hey MAGA, this is Juneteenth. This is what I need y'all to do today. Get that barbecue chicken. Turn up to this rap music with me. I want to see all that smoke today, buddy.
Like I told you, I don't go live.
Hey, well, you're going live now.
What you want me to do, bro?
You're going live now. Bring the smoke. Turn up to that rap music. Make me feel it.
All right, like I said, I'll be there. I'll walk around.
Okay, thank you. All right. I gotta get up out of here. I gotta get up out of here, bro. I'm gonna let you get time to prepare and rehearse this. All right. Learn the lyrics to the songs you're gonna be playing, and I want an outstanding, flawless performance. Or you know what? That's your rear end. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's K. Saul. Let's give him another. He gonna get a round of applause. He's going out into the battlefield right now, ladies and gentlemen, for Juneteenth, and he's on the right. I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life. Barbecue chicken and rap music, and you inviting MAGA? Oh, I gotta see this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what a show. That concludes it. All right, you all deserve a round of applause. All right, but before we go, my subscribers, the moderators, the gifters, and all the panelists who came up, you also deserve a round of applause because you've done an outstanding job helping to make this show educational, entertaining, and exciting, right? But I got some haters out there. You know who these folks are. These are my critics. These are my detractors, but they're not just mine. They're also yours, right? These are folks who get on this app day in and day out, write straight facts, and they spread misinformation and disinformation, knowingly or unknowingly, on behalf of Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin, right? And what I mean by that is there's still black folks out here who do not understand that a lot of the information that they're getting that makes Joe Biden look like he's a terrible person is coming from Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin is also helping to engage in the race war, right? These folks get out here and spread evil, bigotry, racism, and all forms of evil and criminality, right? On behalf of their cult leader, Donald J. Trump. These folks are the worst of the worst. They are the scum of the earth. Let's give them our final round of, you guessed it, booze and shame. Thank you, Rick. Bingo! Right, Bamba? Silence! You never demon! And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. I will upload, or I'll at least try to upload the copy of this show so you can go watch it on my YouTube channel. So make sure you check that out. And take care and stay safe out here in these TikTok streets. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Vote blue. Have a great one, everyone. Happy Juneteenth. All right, we laughed and we cried together once again. Quite incredible, if you ask me. Nathan's mom, thank you.
This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus.
This is how I sound when I'm talking like Zeus. Hey, Kay was on. Have some Zeus playing in the background too. That might help you get the party started too. I just thought of that. Thank you, everyone. Jackie, thank you, Daisy. Stay safe. You cried too, Valerie, right? You can't make this stuff up. Let's go, Electric. Thank you. Booger Sugar. Thank you, Jackie. Queen Flea. Lady T. Harry Bernard, Ray, MLE3, Rio, Retribution, you're still losing. All right, quit listening to Snuggles. Jeffrey P. Johnson. All right. Thank you for that video you sent me, by the way. All right. All right, Rick C. Rox Fox, thank you. Wow, Reggie, Little Hawk, my brother. All right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. The Fly Cleaners, thank you so much. Ray. John Messer, I agree. Yvette, thank you. Lisa, thank you. Be sure to look out for a lawfare on all MAGA sites. Thank you, Queen Flea. All right, you made it another day of reckoning, exactly. All right, hey, Electric, hey, let's go. 11:30, ladies and gentlemen. We will see Kay Wasall go live and celebrate Juneteenth. He's a black conservative. All right, and he's gonna show us what it's like when you invite Trump supporters to celebrate Juneteenth. All right, love you too, Yazzie Jazzy. Hey, little mama, let's go. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. RN voting blue, and I love your minion. All right, you're a nurse. Thank you so much. Great show. You all enjoyed it. I hope you did. All right, I'll be back tomorrow. Same Zeus time. Same Zeus channel. I can't subscribe to you yet. Okay, it's okay, Yazzie. It's just lovely to see you. Miss it so nice to see you. Audit today. Tomar Heard, love you too. Let's go. Happy Juneteenth. Annie, thank you so much. All right. Here we go.
I just want to buy 11,780 votes. Which is one more than we have.
And you see, that'll get you a RICO case, ladies and gentlemen. Right, Linda? All right, Nathan's mom. Reggie. Cali Love, let's hit him with a remix.
He's deranged.
Jack Smith. He's deranged. Right, Daisy?
He's deranged.
Jack Smith. Thank you, Rick. Jack Smith. Thank you, Garvin. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. Thank you, Octavia. All right, here we go.
Donald Trump is indicted, and they take one charge and they turn it into 36 charges. And he's a big Trump hater. Openly, he's a Trump hater. And his wife is even more of a Trump hater.
All right. Let's get up out of here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. But before we do, let's go ahead and get our last laugh in. Listen to this deranged lunatic Donald Trump unraveling, all right?
They started just recently with this crap. They started just recently. They could have brought this lawsuit, brother, 3 years ago, right after I left. It's been 3 years. But they didn't do that.
Why didn't
And
they?
now they're saying, we have to go immediately before the Supreme Court. This thing would have all been over with 2 years ago.
Oh, it would have?
But they waited and waited and waited, and then they saw I was running, and they waited, and then they saw I was hot.
He was hot.
And they filed lawsuits.
That's right.
These are very dishonest people. That's called election interference. These are and now they're fighting like hell because they want to try and get a guilty plea.
You're right.
From the Supreme Court of the United States, which I can't imagine because you have presidential immunity.
Oh.
But strange things happen.
Oh.
But they want to get that because that's the only way they're going to win the election.
Oh.
It's a very sick thing. But think of it. They waited and waited and waited.
For years.
In fact, nobody thought, everyone was saying they're never going to bring any charges. Most people said they're not going to bring them because they don't have anything. And then all of a sudden we started getting hit with these lawsuits.
Yeah.
And you know, now
Whoa,
they're saying...
slow down, champ. Slow down. What did you just take? It got you moving 100 miles an hour. Your brain is moving faster than your lips, sir. Just admit it. You're guilty and breathe, all right? Let's get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's drop the bomb.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
That's right. You ain't black. You ain't nothing but a modern-day slave. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Take care and stay safe. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do out there in those TikTok streets.